Chat does not work. We're all banned, actually. It's all a secret hit program. We're all dead. I'm gonna kill you all. Actually, out here out of the safety, and you're hiding. I now have your IP addresses, and I'm coming to kill you. Your days are numbered. Have fun, idiot. Haha. You're a dead man walking. Oh, Lord, oh Lord. Probably wait until I get into an actual game before I actually discuss anything. Um, I'm gonna be quite honest. Came home, like, I'll take a nap, and then when I wake up, I'll be well rested to do this thing that I said I would do yesterday at 5. And I woke up at 4:30 p.m. half an hour away from when I just I am still half asleep. Ew. Ugh. Beautiful intricacies. Rest of insomnia. I'm the vent about the vaccine. Oh yeah, if you're in call, by the way, if you're in the Discord call, just general, any of them really. I might grab people to discuss about it. Um, I'll have you on the show. Because clearly, come on, nobody's really qualified to talk about weapons at all. That's just a very, very big faux pas, apparently. Getting on the air. Where do we start though? I think the big one, obviously, the main thing I was like debating about making this in the through part was kind of the feedback regarding the update video I made. Most of them obviously are just like subjective. Everybody's gonna have them, right? I don't believe X should be nerfed. I believe Y should be buffed. Yada yada yada. And it's kind of hard as a person without like the ability to test that to be see what does and doesn't work, obviously. But the one thing that like really stuck with me, that I was like kind of more shocked about, was the amount of people who thought the Crusader's crossbow wasn't the wrong weapon. That one really kind of stuck with me compared to anything else. Kind of shocked, to be honest, by that. Mainly because outside of maybe the Medigun, I see the Crusader's crossbow as being the strongest weapon in the having fairly good damage and obviously less utility. Quite shocked to see. Nah, that's fine. Not that strong. Of course, this is my fault. Still. Audio's cutting out? Oh, hold on, I'll fix it. Give me a second. I will just filter out. There we go. It's probably a bit better, a bit louder. How's that? Better? Worse? Maybe I'll move actually closer to my mic. Yeah, there we go. How's that for prime audio quality, THX surround sound? Simply fantastic. Anyways, what was I discussing about? Dave's crossbow, right? I think in a vacuum, right? If you look at the Crusader's crossbow, just without any comparison to other syringe guns like Age-Old Overdose or Stock, fine, right? Similarly, if you look at the other syringe guns without noticeable attacks the Crusader's crossbow has on the game, it doesn't come across as being that bad. The syringe guns are not terrible, he says as he fires and misses 90 shots on them. they take practice to get to, obviously, and I'm not going to argue that they could be a bit more consistent and concise with their such. But you know, when you compare it to on-demand healing from anywhere around the map, and I'm not gonna say a hit scan, but like a very fast-moving projectile, always gonna look shit in comparison, right?
The control point is being contested.
And I don't feel like buffing free weapons, truthfully, the solution to just make them on par with one of the strongest weapons. Of course, who do we got? Who do we got? Do we got anybody call a differing opinion on that? Who do we got? Got the box man. Gotta wait for him to see something. I need to see people still like in the chat for kidnap somebody here right now. Bring him on in. Introducing. Welcome. Can't see your name is cut off. Welcome. I've used this voice chat once. Howdy hey, howdy ho. Introduce yourself to the lovely people.
Where the fuck am I?
This is the secret furry mod RP chat that we have that only I have access to, so it's not really an RP chat.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Anyways,
hello.
give us your takes. Come on, man. We got content to produce.
Okay, let me look at what weapons there are in Team Fortress.
Do you have any like strong opinions about any weapons beforehand? Come on, man.
I like the I like the Scottish Resistance.
Yeah, what do you like about it?
I think they should change the radius that selects the sticky bombs.
Office,
Because that's kind of annoying.
Explosion detonation.
No, you just grabbed me out of the chat.
Well, that's the entire point. That's why I had people join the chat.
True. That's my fault.
I don't like. Why else would you be sitting in here?
Yeah.
Alright.
Ooh, okay, I actually have an opinion.
Alright, I was gonna say, send this fish back, but you've got something.
It's about the... Okay, I'm playing, so I'm kind of fucked. You know what? Yeah.
Oh, he's cracked. He's full of the depression, boys. We gotta send him back. Send him back.
No, hold on,
Okay.
hold on. I'm in... Okay, I'm in the Discord call and, listening to the stream at the same time.
Oh,
which is
my
kind of
mistake.
fucking to me.
One.
Yeah. Basically, the lock and load, it used to be basically just the direct upgrade, but for... Direct hit, but for Demo Man. But, they changed it. I forget why they changed it. They changed it to only do certain damage to buildings. Yeah.
I would say part of that came from the inclusion of... I guarantee you, like, I don't know for sure, but the change probably came in fucking match or Blue Moon. Or, what's the one that added Boreal? Sorry, I'm blanking on it. The one that nobody liked and all the balance changes had to be reverted. I feel like it came in that balance.
Gunmetal?
Gunmetal, yes. It comes off as a change though. Like, I would argue it's a direct upgrade. Obviously, I guess rollers don't do a whole lot as demos, so you just should be aiming for direct hit pills anyway. But you know, sometimes rollers are helpful, right? It's kind of why, like, when somebody says that the direct hit is better than stock, I'm a bit kind of like, sometimes, right? I would say on most scenarios, it's kind of not. If you're a roaming soldier, it's probably better though. Both the lock and load, ow. For some reason, people are very adamant on saying it doesn't need its damage back, even though the reason why its damage buff was so prevalent was because of random damage spread that caused it to one-shot people.
Yeah.
But with the removal of that, obviously, it would just do flat, I think 110 damage. Just kill the user. Anyways, but yeah, that's a good point though to make though. But like, I think people don't even use the lock and load normally. like a rare
Yeah.
sight to see, even if you were to change anything about it. Like, how many people do you see using the lock and
Yeah,
load?
people only really pull it out when there's like a building or a sentry nest.
I would say even then, what do you think is better dealing with buildings on average? Like lock and load or
Probably a sticky launcher.
yeah, the stickies. Okay. It was a good point to make. I think currently lock and load, it needs something. There's no use to use it right now because, like you said, stickies could do the same job but better, especially because on issue.
Yeah. Like if they were to revert it back to the old stats, but just remove random crits.
Yeah, oh, that would be a good idea.
Alert.
I say there's very few weapons in the game that I feel like probably might with the random crit stat that kind of need it or don't need it. This
Yeah,
that
I feel like
Uichi's
all
one.
of the weapons that have random crits removed, they all give you like a damage buff.
Mhm.
So I guess that's the kind of reasoning behind it.
Or they have some situational upside to them, like the direct hit. It wouldn't be too bad if the direct hit got rid of crits. I think it already does a shit ton of damage. You don't need to like delete people more. Right?
Yeah. Another thing I dislike in terms of balancing is like the flamethrowers. A lot of the flamethrowers have like, as like a penalty, is that they make the air blast worse,
Mhm.
and I don't really like that philosophy.
Just be the flames get worse, probably.
Yeah.
Anyways, good point. Good first discussion. Good first call in. Thank you for having us, Agent of Stars.
Cool. Yeah.
Drag
It's
somebody
nice to be
else
on the
in.
show or whatever. Yeah.
Back in the
you can call
general.
me now.
Boxman in here. Boxman! The man, the myth, the legend himself, Boxman.
Hey, yo, man, what's up?
What's up, my guy? Offline. Give us the take of the century. Come on. The people
Honest
are
to
demanding
God,
it.
honest to God, I genuinely think that at least the old version, I think the shortstop was my favorite scout weapon, and it still is. I do think that the shove is kind of pointless, and it could use some improvement over it. Maybe like if you want to get rid of it entirely, I completely understand. Also, hold on, let me mute the stream because I'm hearing myself twice. It's kind of surreal being in a place like this, but yeah, I do understand why they kind of had to nerf it a little bit, because like the healing bonus, I can imagine was kind of insane to do some pretty good, 1 HP saves and whatnot. And truth be told, the push force penalty wasn't really all that problematic if you know how to, properly keep your distance and whatnot.
Mhm. I feel. Oh, I mean, like the shove is kind of funny. Don't get me wrong, but the force of nature does the same thing, but better. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got the same gimmick, it's got the same niche knockback on it. It's not needed. I'm kind of blanking on what the old, off the top of my head, shortstop stats were. It was like extra health on hit, right? Extra health from sources, right? Something like that. Was that the like the old one?
Competition begins in 60 seconds.
Help me out here. Come on, I can't remember everything. I'm not like a source in the well of knowledge. Come on. Oh, you just left. Damn. Wow. All right. You win some, you lose some, I guess. Or R.I.P. Bring somebody else in, I guess, to fill in this void. Let's bring in Gibby. Gibby
Competition begins
from iCarly.
in 30 seconds.
Let's see it. Let's see Gibby.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Gibby from iCarly, crashing in through the ceiling. What do you got for us?
The vaccinator is overpowered.
Damn. What a statement and a half. Elaborate. Aside from the obvious. 'Cause-
What?
4, 3,
So,
2,
I need food. It's really easy to just like
Started.
completely negate a class. It's like weapon,
There we go.
like the heavy. You should have fully revved heavy. All you gotta do is you press M2 and all damage is gone basically.
Mhm. I do feel like the vaccinator would work. I don't even know how it would play out in like smaller comps, right? Like Highlander. I know it's banned in most formats, but just in cases where you can't even have that many people or team diversity is not a big thing, right? I mean, like on this team, what do we got? A bunch of soldiers, a bunch of demos. So already, if somebody that an enemy had a vaccinator, there goes like 3/4 of our potential damage output because of one vaccinator.
Yeah, it's good and casual, like really good.
Yeah.
And casual.
But obviously, I feel like a good change to it would just be you can't have two systems of it out.
Just rework it, I think. Yeah. Do something different with like its concepts.
What would you change with the concept then? Because I do think a damage negating Medigun over just a damage removal one, like how stock works, is a neat idea. Obviously flawed in concept or execution. But
Definitely.
yeah.
I mean, rework it.
But like, how would you change it then?
I don't know, maybe just like tone down the damage resistance by like a lot, or just completely like change it to like something else, like maybe like a slight damage boost, like maybe a 10 damage boost to like whatever. That can change the game a bit.
So
I
like
don't know.
amplify damage rather than negate damage.
Yeah, that might
Then
seem kind of broken, but
I
that's
feel
kind of
like-
what crits does.
Yeah, that's kind of what Crits already does already, and faster too, and overall better. So I don't feel
Yeah,
like that's
but
a
you
good
can
change.
have like mini ones too, I guess.
I
Or
guess.
like you can have like
But then like you'd have to like
a
still
2-second
change.
Uber charge or something.
You still have to
Or like a
change the
3-second.
selected type. So what?
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, so it would just be as long as you have somebody healing, they get 10 plus health or 10 plus damage. Sorry.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not really good at reworking things.
I feel like it's fine as kind of is. Like some changes could be made to it, obviously.
It just nerf it.
I feel like the fact that you can have 2 times damage out is a bit ridiculous.
We already have 3 times damage, so.
Yeah, damn. You can't have 3 times damage, you only have 2. But the fact that you could have, essentially... Okay, well, fire damage is only done by pyro, okay? So you're never gonna have that active. Everybody has a gun that shoots damage.
Yeah.
That's going to be there. And then explosive damage is the bigger one. So theoretically, you can always have explosive and bullet damage up. There's also
Yeah.
some very fun bugs with the vaccinator. That is, if you have you're Ubered with it, and I mean like you use the 90% and crit negation one, you still gain Uber while active, so it stays up longer, which is very fun. Don't know who
Also broken.
didn't play test this weapon. It's been like that for a very
Yeah, they
long
really
time.
did not playtest this like, at all.
The fact that it can remove and negate 2 at once is a bit insane. I feel like they just changed it so that 1 was only available, and that 1 would be. Hold on.
Like a
Sorry.
separate weapon or something.
Just if you have it as 1 available, and then if you Uber with it, you also have the ability to crits off for everything. That would be fine.
Yeah, that would work.
Let's see what the chat says. Let me just peek into the chat. What do they say then? The Foss with the sharp volcano. The vaccinator is under power. Sarcasm.
Or we do what the escape plan did, we split it up into like 2 different weapons.
I don't know how you'd have to split into like 3 different ones, and even then that just sounds kind of stupid. Cause you always just have the bullet one or the explosive one. You never have the fire one.
They just split up into 2 weapons. Alright, yeah.
I don't know about splitting it. I do just think it just needs a slight nerf to its capabilities, rather than like any big core concept changes.
Yeah. Probably best.
Oh, big stabs there. But anyways, thank you for coming to the show.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Subscribe to Space Guy.
Okay. Don't have to. Don't do that. Who do we got here now? Anybody want to mute the stream? Buddy old pal chum of mine. I wish I could see the name, but I can't. Discord's always fun.
It's a little gamble.
Thank you, Lord Gavel. What's the hot take of the century? A weapon that
think-
irks you and perks you.
The crit screen.
Okay, I'm actually surprised about. Lay it on me.
I find it the most fun minigun to use.
Well, how's that a hot take though? That's not like a bad thing. You're talking about like stuff that sucks. Stuff that pisses you off, quite frankly, like my chicken wife.
How situational it is.
How so? I mean, like if you're on offense, even on defense. Don't get me wrong. I get what you mean by situational. But like,
It's like it's not hard for just
yeah, I
someone to gun down the medic.
suppose. But I could say that about Uber as well, or just anything in general.
Mm.
I wouldn't say it's a victim of I would say it's just a victim of requiring your teammates to be competent more than you do. Compared to something else like Uber or the Vaccinator, which kind of has a lot of independence that it can do.
I think a change could be made.
Do it like how so?
Maybe add a little bit of like something defensive to it.
I wouldn't mind, like how so though? Like just damage negation, like a little bit of well, I mean you already have overkill
Yeah.
on top of it.
I mean, yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Because like, if like, oh, I don't know, you're
No,
in a
keep going, keep going.
infantry area. Like, it's not that hard to just get gunned down and waste the Uber.
But I feel like the point of that is to kill everybody before they kill you, like that.
Yeah, that is true.
Like I'm not. I do feel like it's a weapon that is very circumstantial and situational, but that's not like a super duper bad thing, right? And it's not even a case of like the game mode itself or anything like that. The scenarios, it's just more about your team effectiveness, right? If you can find someone who's good at the game to pocket and use, right? Then it's going to be golden. It's going to carry you through the entire game compared to something like
If you see someone playing soldier, there's more than likely they're gonna just tread through the enemy team or just die, or you just waste your Uber and he dies in like 5 seconds.
I don't know. I don't have any strong opinions about it. Fine as is, to be honest.
Ah, okay.
Heck. Crimson coming in now. I joined. Hold on. Fuck. I joined the wrong call.
Yeah,
Whoops.
good job.
There we go. Crimson. Crimson. Crimson, give us the take of the century, the content of the century. Give it to us. Give it to us, Crimson.
Control point is being captured.
I'm not reading chat at the same time, by the way. It's kind of hard for me. I don't have a dual monitor set up. I only have a single monitor. I have to like alt tab to read chat. To see how people react to stuff.
I had no idea what's happening. To be honest, I kind of just joined PC.
Just saw people. Well, too bad you're here now, buddy. I need content. What's the hot take? What weapon irks you the most?
Hot take.
Yeah. What weapon, frankly, pisses you off, buddy? What weapon you want to see change, for better or for worse?
I'm gonna be honest. I think the Neon Annihilator should do better. I don't know.
Better? How so?
You know how like the gas canister doesn't like count as an enemy when they're wet?
Yeah, I don't feel like that's a thing on the Neon, though. I feel like it's a thing on the Gas Passer for blogs.
Yeah, it's more of the gas passer thing.
That's it? Just make the Gas Passer coat people? If we're talking about the Gas Passer, there's like a billion better things that could do.
Yeah. It would be cool if it could be a combo with the Neon Annihilator though. So.
Yeah. I feel from a very conceptual standpoint, right? Somebody was like, Jungle Inferno update, let's make a area of denial throwable secondary for Pyro. Let's not have it be a Molotov. Let's have it be a very shitty gas canister. That does nothing. And I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but they went with it.
Yeah, it would be cool if we could like explode though, like how MVM is. They could have added that, but no.
I don't know if it's possible to have sort of like CSGO Molotov, like damage stays on the ground, but that would also be something interesting.
It would be really interesting.
something along that line. Because I think people say ow, it's a crit. Because people go ahead and say, oh, the gas passer needs a buff. Oh, it needs to be changed. But from a pure concept, right? It's a bad idea. I don't think anything can be really changed to it to make it workable. Even if you give it like explode on Ignite like it has on MVM, that just sounds more annoying to deal with casual setting. Right?
Would, yeah.
It's just flawed. I don't feel like anything can be really changed to make it good.
I guess, yeah. It would be nice if it was a combo of the Neon Annihilator though.
Yeah, if they just made it
would
wet.
definitely, yeah, it would definitely have some more people using it. So
Mhm.
it would be annoying though. So
Oh, I like this idea.
yeah,
The VAC rework could be you select a damage type and then the damage would be reflected back off of you instead of going ahead gating it. I feel like that's interesting, but it's also going to be very, very annoying.
yeah,
I've been playing some Overwatch, right? And the amount of people who don't understand not to shoot like Zarya bubble, kind of like one thing, and I'm just kind of like imagining that in TF2 where it's like a lot more chaotic and stuff. Just does not sound like that good of an idea.
it does not. Yeah,
I feel like punishing people for trying to kill you is also not a very good thing.
yeah, that's not good.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's all I that's all I gotta say.
Alright, thank you. Drag you back. Tremendous. I feel like I should go back to the first point I was talking about with the Crusader's crossbow. Strong weapon, right? A lot of people don't think it's that strong, but like I said, in a vacuum, because this is the one that like personally got me, right, with the video too. I'll be honest, my quote-unquote nerf for the Crusader's crossbow is bad for a variety of reasons. It is terrible. For starters, it kind of punishes people for healing and playing medic properly, right? For those unaware, the nerf I said was when you heal someone based on the amount healed, it should cost Uber. I think like a maximum of up to like %, I believe was the maximum I said. Obviously, you shouldn't be punishing people for doing their job, especially as a support class. But then also, oh my word, worst stab in the century right there. But then the other thing it didn't do is it didn't change anything about the Crusader's crossbow. It's still an extremely prominent weapon, even if it costs Uber to now use. There's no punishment or like reason to not use it, because if you didn't have it, like you're incapable of healing people from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Just, it's strong. It's extremely strong. I don't know how you would make it like good or even like fair or balanced. If that makes sense, right? I don't think on-demand healing from range anywhere within a sightline can ever be balanced, especially when there are other things that you have to like compare, compete with, right? But I don't know. Fix every TF2 weapon by making them all equally overpowered, so there's no longer a meaning of overpowered. There's still going to be one thing that's going to be stronger than everything, though. That's the issue. There'll always be like one thing that'll always like eke out something else, right? To simplify this analogy, we're just gonna say, imagine you have to hit like 30 buttons, and then when you hit those 30 buttons, you kill a guy, right? And then like the different button combinations you can have are very, even if they're completely random, there's always gonna be one button combo that's always gonna be quote unquote meta or just easier to do than the rest. Even if it's like so minimally better, it's always gonna be present. You know what I'm saying? Fuck me, that's a crit again. I can't get a break. I'm playing terrible this fight. Switch off. What's some other ones? I'll check chat now. Nerf the amount of Uber gain. I don't feel like the Crusader's crossbow should gain Uber at all. I don't feel like that's a hot take at all. The fact that the Crusader's crossbow gives you Uber for healing people is stupid. Definitely should not do that. I don't feel like anybody's really... Reverse fall off for sniper rifles. I'm gonna be honest, right? I'm biased with it. I play sniper a lot. more than I would say the average person does. I don't feel like giving him reverse fall off is a good solution, because I feel like it just punishes snipers who are capable of making quick scope shots. And I do feel like quick scope shots, although people love them or hate them, right? They do take some skill to do, right? I'd rather punish people who can just sit in scope all day and don't need to aim and then just get land a 150 body shot, right? That's kind of like when people talk about sniper bounce, it's like two different schools of thought. Some people want to nerf how quick he can do it, while other people want to nerf how slow it takes for him to pop off. I am obviously the latter. I feel body shot damage should be nerfed. I feel like I'd be fine with that. Ammo capacity definitely should be nerfed. I do find it ridiculous that the close quarters Huntsman and Crusaders, Huntsman, what's the reskin called? Fortified Compound, yeah, have 13 arrows, while the sniper rifle has 25. That's always never sat well with me. Yeah. I forget the exact amount. Yeah, the crossbow gains 1% uber from healing, and it's almost guaranteed, essentially. I think if you do like more than 80 healing, then you get 1% uber, which is not that hard to do. The pain train needs a buff. Ooh! Love to hear about the pain train. What a weapon. What a weapon concept. Let's design a weapon that's only good in like 2.5 game modes. It's only good on like offense, attack, defend, and I guess payload attack, right? What a great idea for a weapon con. I don't know how you would change it though. Damn. I don't know how you would change it though. That's kind of the issue. The pain train is like, there are a lot of weapons in TF2 where like the core concept has just been like infused into people's minds, like the gas passer or Crusader's crossbow with the heal on hit, or the pain train's extra cap on equipped. Where I just like, I don't know how you would fundamentally change something like that, because you would have to rework it from the ground up. It would just no longer exist as it does. It definitely needs something. I don't know. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, make it do like extra damage to people who are on the point or something like that, or like extra damage while on the point, because that just kind of runs the same scenario of only being good in certain codes. And also then you're kind of like stalls out games longer, I feel like, if that makes sense, right? If you're getting a damage bonus to people who are just capping the point, some shit like that, that's the entire enemy team. This does not come out as a good idea. I die here. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't have a weapon. Why don't we balance for MVM? Because MVM, you could just do fucking whatever. MVM, there's a gun in the game that just kills everybody. Alright? And it's so brutal that does it that, like, every time, who's the group that does all the custom MVM missions? Blanket on their name, or whenever custom MVM tour comes out, they have to like deliberately either nerf it to the ground, or block the upgrade, or just block the weapon entirely. That's why balancing for MVM is kind of stupid. Especially like, I don't want to get to MVM balancing. There's obviously the argument that it can be OP because it's just like against AI, and who really cares? But I don't fucking care. You know? I kind of like to play a somewhat challenging game when I do MVM. I like to play the game, I don't like to be coasted through it. Mateo.tf, thank you. Nerf Girardi Bushwhacker. That's what I get for reading chat. I always find the Girardi Bushwhacker like argument so weird. Because I never understood why people say like the Bushwhack is the issue. Because it's on Sniper. It's a melee weapon. It gives him increased damage. Right? Sniper has like no mobility option to speak of, right? If you can't like... The guy's running at you with like a bushwhacker sword. Or what is it? Bushwhack, yeah, sorry. And you're covered in Girardi. You should know to back up, right? You should know not to get close. I never understood why people justify like it's on the bushwhacker. I do agree a nerf for Girardi would be fine. But people always seem to be like, nah, the bushwhacker is the real problem, not Girardi. Similarly, you could say the same for Mad Milk, right, where it could use a slight nerf. Would not complain about that. Because both are just extremely powerful effects. I think people obviously complain about Girardi more, though, because it doesn't have a team impact, if that makes sense. Mad Milk, you gotta use it on more people, the better. Girardi, you can use it on, like, a solo target, and it'll be as effective. It's better against one person as against several. Focusing up here. You know what I'm saying, though? Girardi good against 1, Mad Milk good against, like, 20. How many weapons are you... We're just going through, like, randomly, Blue. We're just talking about whatever people have issues with. If you want to join General, I'll drag you into this call. Talking about random stuff. Somebody said the Striper Volcano Fragment. I feel like the Striper Volcano Fragment is another weapon, like I said, that's just fucked in its sheer concept. You can't do anything about it. Somebody was like, let's make this weapon that's just bad, and then they're like, good idea. And not even like gimmicky sort of bad, just bad. I do like the idea that I propose of it like storing a crit afterburn damage or some shit like that, or like just damage dealt in general. I don't think that's bad. I don't think it would be great, obviously. Something like the Extinguisher would still be a lot more prominent meta, because you can guarantee that situation rather than just coming across it. I think it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Compared to how it is normally. Right? You can rebalance at third degree. True. Third degree is a weapon. The third degree is another fucked weapon. There's a lot of fucked weapons that just have not been changed or touched since the dawn of time. Right? Like, the Flog has at least been nerfed, quote unquote, when it comes to like the practicality of how easy it is to pull off. The third degree, even though it's like a direct upgrade, it doesn't do anything. Right? It's so much easier, especially since they buff flamethrowers in Jungle Inferno, to just light the fucking medic on fire and light his pocket on fire so less healing gets done. There's nothing. I think the only scenario I've ever seen the third degree do well in is like an MVM. And even then, it's the same job that could be done by a fucking demo, and probably done worse than. We're just done by the gas passer. There's like so many terrible fucking things with the. Somebody list some third degree buffs or changes. Because I do agree, like, it shouldn't be a direct upgrade, but it also just doesn't do anything with the upgrade it has, so it's just a null. It's kind of a pointless change to have entirely. Because like I said, hitting a medic in the heal target doesn't do shit when you just hit him with a flamethrower and get more damage out of it and less healing. It's just overall better to do that. There's no... Have you forgotten that the Neon and Annihilator can remove sat? No, I didn't forget that. I mean, like, if you're saying, like, in concept, do I forget I can do that at times? Yeah. It's not something that, like, the focal point of the weapon. I don't hate that it has it. It gives it a lot more use than it wouldn't have. Compared to it just existing in, like, 5 maps. Yes, Gabo, I do. I want to do streaming every Friday. Or maybe weekend, we'll see. But I want to do streaming a lot more regularly. Mainly because, I'll be honest, I'm working on the Versus Saxon Hail tier list. I have all my clips recorded. I got all the audio recorded. I'm in the process of doing the SFM for that video. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, god damn, bro, like, I want to kill myself. I hate SFM. It's just time. It's just time consuming. So I was really debating, like, I could just spend the entire day grinding on SFM, or I could, like, take a break from it and do something I actually kind of want to do, which is this. I'm dead. Ugh. Crits against overheal players. I like that idea. There you go. I'm gonna go Bonk Atomic Punch. Who's arguing about Bonk Atomic Punch? Like, it's niche. I think everybody has the same thing about Bonk Atomic. I don't think anybody's ever disagreed with saying Bonk Atomic Punch. I think it's like the epitome of the definition.
We have secured
Wow.
the control point.
Or like it's good in like 1 out of every like 5 situations. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it being like that. Not every weapon could be the fucking direct hit.
Stab, stab, stab.
Ugh. Tragic. Tragic shame. Yeah, agreed with building with the flog isn't problematic with the flog. It's support shot spam or just flare gun spam. Agreed with there. Just make it deal primary damage. I think that's fine. Or just increase the cap if you want to keep it with flare guns. I think that's fine.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
Oh, maybe I should get SFM2 and then suffer of that as well. Because if you have CSGO 2, pretty sure you get SFM2. That's what I heard anyway. Game. I've not played TF2 in a very long time. Like 2 weeks probably. I took a bit of a break. Mainly to clear out all the other games I have on my Steam inventory. I have a burst fire on kill. Killing somebody with... For a degree, so sorry, if you kill someone on third degree, it bursts people on fire. I'm gonna assume it's like in a 360-degree area. I'm also gonna assume that's in a fairly large AoE. Have to like make it larger than infrared range for it to really do anything, right?
Point is being captured. You failed.
Damn. Because if not, then you just have no point to use it. Man. I don't think it's that good either, though. I feel like that's what the gas passer should do. If you throw it, it just does ignite in an AoE. I don't feel like killing somebody with a third degree should be worth it, because getting melee kills as Pyro is rarely worth it, to be honest. Especially if it doesn't have any damage equipped with it. Because what you have to do is you have to run up with them, hit them with your flamethrower for a little bit, right? They don't, like, notice you. And switch to your melee, right? And then hit him with your melee, like, up to 2 times. While everybody else is probably shooting you as well. Damn. You know what I'm saying? It's not... I don't think it's a bad idea for a weapon. I just don't think it's a good idea on a melee weapon.
Control point is being contested.
Going for it.
Stab, stab.
A greedy motherfucker that they wants, man. Is that a bot, by the way? Bot medic? Or is that guy just spazzing out? Sorry, I'm like focusing up right now. Oh, great idea. On hit, absorb the overheal of your target. That's still too niche. Too niche, blue. Bad idea. The first shot of the force of nature doesn't do any knock. What was the other side? What were the other ideas that you proposed, Red Shape Man? A rework for Flog. I think no, I agreed with that one. I agree with that one, where you can't build with just scorches with flares. I agree with that.
Control point is being contested.
The first shot of the force nature doesn't do any knockback. I do feel like the second shot should be. I feel like it's a flawed concept that the second shot doesn't do the knockback. It's the first one. You think the flog needs some changes? Yeah, we just talked about it. The eviction notice. Any suggestions? Yeah. I feel like the eviction notice should just stay as like the funny, like quick hit weapon. It should not be like half grew abomination. It shouldn't give speed while equipped, and it shouldn't drain your health. Okay. You can buff the draw speed and holster speed so you get more melee use out of it.
Control point has been
But 100%, it should just remain like punching weapon, like the funny punching weapon. And even though I say funny, and that's typically what we say about like weapons like the high hand, it's still not that bad. It still has like some use out of it, right? There's always gonna be some neat. Force Nade should have a secondary fire. Damn. Nerf the squirt shot, nerf the squirt shot. Everybody says nerf the squirt shot, and then few people actually give like any general ideas of how to do so. They just kind of like say it should be nerfed. And I don't disagree with that, but people don't really tend to give like, oh wow, speaking of the eviction notice, they don't really tend to give an example of what they would like to see changed with it. Wait, hiccups. Not be able to knock back people, sure. I feel like the knockback's annoying. I feel okay. The thing about the squirt shot is right. Dust Bowl. Speaking of the god damn. The thing about the squirt shot is if you hit somebody with a direct flare, right, and then that flare is essentially guaranteed to explode on the ground and hit them again, right, which resets mission period to like 10 whole seconds. So it's just more or less like a direct damage upgrade for most other flares. Stock is better in quick succession. The stock flare gun, the standard flare gun is better in quick succession, but over prolonged time, the squirt shots just better.
Prepare to compete in 60
Oh.
seconds.
I don't feel like the squirt shot should be turned into the flare jumper because that's what the detonator does. The detonator should be the flare jumper. The detonator needs like more self knockback on it, I feel like, as well. I like using the detonator. I want to use the detonator more, but doesn't like the mobility it gives just does not feel that strong enough to really warrant using it.
Competition begins in 30 seconds.
Tragic. Especially when you have stuff like the squirt shot, which just kind of like does the same little hop, but kind of defeating the purpose.
Prepare to compete in 10 seconds.
Imagine the third degree acting like a fan of war for Pyro, keeping his connected hit but applying a third degree debuffs and stuff. Yeah, sure. I guess, yeah. I think it's still fine. I feel like I stand by the point of like if Pyro has to use his melee for damage, the damage better be real fucking good, right? That's kind of like why the Extinguisher is really good, and kind of why the back scratcher isn't seen all that often because the damage it gives is not that good outside of crit, obviously. Not balanced anyways. Is to justify switching off something that has more damage per second, I can hit multiple targets, and reduces the healing compared to just like a melee hit once is not worth it. The Vitasaur. The Vitasaur. People defend the Vitasaur. I don't know how you can defend the Vitasaur. It genuinely infuriates me that people are like, the Vitasaur is actually not that bad. I don't know what the hell they're smoking, my guy. I wish I could have some of it. It's a weapon that promotes dying. Okay, in the old Vitasaur, it was a weapon that like promotes dying, right, by making it easier to die, and that was quote unquote okay. It was quote unquote fine, right? And now this new one, it promotes dying more because you still have the health reduction, but then you also need to hit enemies with your melee as medic just to get like less of a reward. So there's no point to use it ever. Especially when the Ubersaw, on average, will just get like 2 hits in, just be so much better on average. Lovely. I don't think, like, even in comp, people always say like it's good in comp. I've never seen anybody ever use it in comp. I think it's a myth. People just lied to us to years about the Vitasaur. I blame Area 7 personally. It's fake. Don't believe the fake news about the Vitasaur, guys. Fake news. It's all fake news. Doesn't do shit. I'm gonna... Swear to God. Needs a complete overhaul and change. Like, genuinely. It doesn't do anything. Holy fuck. Are we gonna beat Dustful in, like, record time here? Wow. Surprised it didn't take 9 years. Doesn't do anything. There's a lot of changes you could do with it. I like the idea. Obviously, my proposed idea was you hit somebody, and then, like, you get essentially a small health pack on hit that you can spend freely. I like that idea. I'm not, like, married to it. But genuinely, anything is better than like the current Vitasaur or even the old Vitasaur. Okay. This zombie force with the... I feel like the amputator uses slight buff. Slight buff for the amputator wouldn't be that bad. I don't know what that buff would be because I don't know the stats of it off the bat, but slight buff wouldn't be that bad. Just to give it some more notoriety. You still have to change how devastating the Ubersaw is, right? Because 20% lower firing speed does Dax shit, right? Does nothing. Look at this piece. Look at this garbage. The fact that it caps out at 60% is also stupid. If you're gonna like force me to hit people with my melee and then die, at least make it so I can like keep full Uber, like on multiple hits, you know what I'm saying? I generally do believe like all of Medic's melees outside of the, well, even including the Ubersaw, are terribly balanced. They're all terrible. The Amputator is probably the closest one to a balanced weapon now. Definitely needs like some slight changes, but it's perfectly fine in concept. Being that passive regen one wouldn't be bad. Maybe even doing something kind of like get rid of the taunt, because the taunt's like stupid, and maybe like replace it with something like even like slightly more reduced damage or like slower swing speed, but maybe it like boosts heal amount on people, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Boost the effectiveness of healing it has, essentially. Make it a passive weapon, like a passive utility rather than like a damage weapon. I don't feel like that's a hard ask or hard sell, right? Time with the Vitasaur with this one. I feel like the Vitasaur could give a mechanic where you consume 25% of your Uber to give yourself or your teammate on melee hit 2.5 seconds of your current medi. Oh, that feels way too strong though. You kind of run into like the issue people have with the Vaccinator, but like with everything now. 2.5 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but it's just enough, you know what I'm saying? Sounds really. It's just, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one. Wah, wah. Wart shot rebounds. Mini crits burning targets and extinguishes them, sure. Damage and knockback increases based on duration. There you go. Does not afflict the afterburn. What about for every successful hit gives medic full overheal? I like that more for the Vitasaur, to be honest. Because if like, I genuinely like that idea more for the Vitasaur. When you hit somebody, get overheal. I like that on the Vitasaur. Because the Vitasaur is all about you need to be in melee range currently, right? You gotta hit people. And then your reward for hitting people only pays off when you die, right? I like that for the Vitasaur and the Ubersaw. That sounds like a much better idea. Got anybody else I haven't dragged in? I got Gibby. I still got the same people. I don't think I'll be dragging them back in. Ways. Need fresh new blood. We already discussed about the Vaccinator earlier on. All that we generally did say with it was it's ridiculous that it can go ahead and block up to 2 damages at a time. You only do 1 for healing, and you... I don't know about that. Ugh. Place for buff banner but increase flame range. What? Oh. All are you in? I'm in my server, Blue. Can't drag. Joining the call, Great Blue, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm the guy that Space Guideline brings on when he needs like the clout injection for his stream.
Okay, but let's not pretend this is like the first stream I've done in like the first truthful stream I've done in like 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The last stream
Wait, so
the
what was
last
the one you were doing like 2 weeks ago.
that was the drug tier. That's not even a joke.
Wait, so which one is F? What's the worst drug in your?
I think I put like paint huffing in F.
Paint?
Yeah. 'cause
Oh.
I put paint huffing in F, and then I put like ayahuasca in like SS tier because I was just like impressed that they had that on there.
Dude, if you were huffing paint, like you are desperate. Go get.
That's what I said. That's why it's an F tier. I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, I get that. Like,
what
I
are you
agree.
doing huffing paint? Like, you know how much weed costs? Like fucking $20, bro. Just go get weed.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you are
Goddamn.
huffing paint, you've already lost. You are in such a desperate
I think
situation.
the point I made was like, if you're doing drugs, you're already a bit of like a degenerate, right? But then if you're huffing paint, you're like a degenerate of a degenerate. Like you're the worst of the worst. There's no winning.
Yeah, you're terminally addicted to like every type of drug, but you don't have access to anything. It's like oh, what's going on with this window?
People walk into like a home hardware store, they go to the paint aisle, they just like have an overdose. Like, come on, man. Ain't.
Yeah, what about huffing glue?
Same
It's
thing.
like,
Same thing. I'm like, you like
nutty nut 90
you like
super-
sniffing horse hooves, buddy? That's weird. You're furry if you like sniffing glue.
This is some expert here. This is like
Yeah.
Olympic level mental gymnastics.
That's not
Alright.
expert. That's what glue's made out of. Horse hooves.
You're a furry if you like sniffing glue.
I don't think I'm
guess,
wrong.
Like, I guess I don't like disagree, but still, it's like your reasoning's really strange. Alright, so
I like how you joined the call and the conversation's already been like dragged out of
it
topic.
just
Oh,
derailed.
there you
It
go.
just happens.
Oh. I leave this game and invite you to a party, or you just on your phone.
All right, let's see. No, I am on my computer, but I'm pulling up pyro weapons because there was like 2 things that you said recently on your video that I took great concern with.
It was probably the rebuffing of the Fur Degree, which I feel like the current Fur Degree should just be changed to block healing on hit rather than how.
Yeah, blocking healing is really good. I think you said like block it for 8 seconds, and I was like a little
Listen,
bit.
Duration
not
could
sure about
always
that.
be
8 seconds
fucked
is a
with.
while.
Duration could always be fucked with.
All right,
I feel like 5 seconds.
let's pull this up again.
I only did 8 seconds, so I'm like, yeah, what am I basing it off of? Oh, I guess just like Girardi and Mad Milk, which is
Okay, yeah, there we go. Your freaking yeah, but Girardi and Mad Milk can be healed away, but if you don't have healing, it can't be.
yeah, that can't be this. Make it 4 seconds, fuck it.
Okay, yeah, the Scorch Shot rebalance that you brought up.
I nerfed that to
was,
the ground.
You did. That's what everyone said. Every single person that tries to like adjust the Scorch Shot's just like, yeah, I don't know what to do with it. We'll just nerf it and make it.
Because it is just that. Because it's like it's not that good. Like nobody says
don't
like
think-
that good. It just people just be like, yeah, it's annoying. Just make it less annoying.
Yeah, if there's a really bad, or I guess if there's a really poorly designed weapon, I think it's a bit irresponsible to just nerf it into the ground and then pretend it doesn't exist. Like, you know, it's like trying to sweep a weapon under the rug. Redesign it entirely, like effectively remove it from the game, but like make a new weapon take its place, like make a new set of stats called the Scorch Shot. So, yeah, I think like,
Teleporter
a
there.
ranged extinguisher would be really interesting if it had the same like mini crit and damage increase based on afterburn, but it didn't inflict anything itself. Because that kind of looks like what it's doing in Move the Fire. I think that would be.
I feel like you do run into the issue though, of, like because it's long range weapons. How the hell do you? And then like you also run the problem of just having the flare gun still being better because it can ignite from far and it does crits from afar too.
Yeah, I mean, the flare gun's gonna be more generally better, but I think that's how it is. The flare gun's just the best for damage, or it should be anyway. And the detonator's better for movement. And this would be a more specialist option, but this would be a really good finisher. Let me see. Let me do the math on this really fast, actually, to make sure I'm not just stupid.
Turn you up and call.
Yeah, this is as loud as my Discord gets without
There you
being
go.
annoying. There we go. Okay, so Afterburn, the maximum damage you can get from Afterburn is 80. Oh, okay, yeah, that would actually.
With the squirt shot?
No, like in general.
With the squirt shot, though, the thing gotta remember is, if you hit somebody with a direct hit, like I said this earlier, right? That's 2 seconds on average of Afterburn, but then it hits the ground and it resets the timer for the full duration of it. So it's,
Yeah, no, I
so it's
don't.
100
I
damage
don't
plus mini crit.
disagree, but again, in the new design, if you're removing the ability to ignite people itself, and you're basically just making it a ranged extinguisher, that would make it do like, let's see, 110. Wow, that's almost killing a medic. That's 148 damage, which I think is fine because you have to get max Afterburn applied to do that. But I think making it like a really good finisher, while the flare gun's a lot more general damage, would be fine. That's
Yeah.
a good direction for it.
The other one that people didn't like, the Homewrecker, and I'm gonna be honest, I think people got really too oversensitive. The Homewrecker, it's not that big of a deal.
It's not. I think the current Homewrecker is a terribly bad weapon.
It's terrible.
I don't know what they're doing.
It's terrible, though. I don't know how people
Not only
justify
does it
it.
suck, but it's also just annoying. It's like the single use case is just to make engineer nests even stronger. Like, we don't need that. That's
just-
not a feature we need in TF2.
So you agree that, like, removing a sentry nest with a pyro is hard, right? Yeah. So why do you, like, disagree that giving a weapon that makes it even harder is bad? Like, what?
No, I'm saying removing Savage.
No,
is
sorry,
Really
I'm
poorly.
No, I'm saying
Oh.
this as so somebody was saying like listen, buddy, if there's a pyro in like a sentry nest, right? By a sentry nest, okay? It's already going to be possible to sap it, like it's nearly impossible. Ergo, the Homewrecker is balanced because that spy won't be able to do anything anyways. Like what? Huh?
Yeah, like if the spy
Oh my
makes a
God.
sacrifice play, if he kills the engineer and then saps the building, and the pyro gets him right after, it's like, alright.
Yeah.
I think the spy should at least be rewarded by doing the single thing he's sacrificed his entire
I
life
don't like
to
that's
do.
kind of what spy does. He sacrifices his life to get the pick, right? Like that's like
Yeah.
the age-old joke of everything a sniper can do.
Yeah, the pyro should not be able to pull out like the fucking middle finger sledgehammer and then immediately
Yeah.
reverse his life's work. Like, that's just not...
Love how it's
Fine.
better at removing sappers and class designed to remove sappers.
Yeah,
Makes
I don't
total sense.
understand. I don't understand what they were doing. Honestly, I think if they made this be like, because Pyro already can't really fight sentries. If they just made it the Homewrecker have what, like maybe the built-in battalions back up like sentry resistance while it's active.
I guess.
Fine. Like,
I
it's a
don't
good
think it
way
would
for
do
Pyro
much.
to at the very least get away from sentry nests. It would be a niche pick for sure, but again, I don't think every weapon has to be a good generalist option. I think if you want a weapon that counters or like reverses matchups a little bit, and it's like, yeah, you just whip this out to delete a mini sentry that's been annoying you. I think that's
Yeah. But I especially somebody said this. And it was obviously a joke. But I'm like, the Homewrecker actually needs a buff because its uses are so limited. Ergo, I believe that it should also upgrade sentries on it as well. Like, damn.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we should actually just make it so if you like pull out the Homewrecker,
Just win
it
the
just
game.
switches your class to an engineer. It's like
Oh.
at that point we just have all of the functions built in. Like, why not just play engineer?
I like that idea.
If you equip it, you just can't pick Pyro. There's just another engineer on the class.
I'm engineer. It's a great idea. Alright, shall I invite you to this party?
No, I only have like a couple minutes, but there are a couple things. I just wanted to discuss some of your changes because I think it's interesting.
I mean, we're also just discussing. You got any
your-
changes that you would like to see applied just from you?
I do have a couple, but I'll get to that in a moment. The other thing that sorry, we have to go through the roast here. So the power jack change. I don't know.
Why does it have health on it? No, it has health on kill, sorry, but why?
Okay, so
It
I
doesn't need
agree
that.
that that's a pointless stat. But
Yeah.
your reasoning for
I
needing to
agree-
make the
it
power
needs-
jack
it
not
needs-
just
yeah.
easily the best one, like it's still gonna be the best one.
Yeah,
the
no,
reason
I
it's the best
agree.
one is because of the speed boost. No one's using the health on kill function.
Agreed.
So I think you can remove it, but it's also just like not.
I feel like
I think
I don't want to say like health drain, like how heavies speed ups melees have, because it's a bit more detriment on pyro. But maybe give it like mini crits, right? So like at any range,
that's way too much. I honestly, here's my hot take. I think the Power Jack is the only balanced pyro melee. I think all of the other ones are just like horribly underpowered. I think that if you buff all of the other ones up to the level of the Power Jack, then that's fine. But again, the only reason that the Power Jack is so much better than everything else is because it's the only thing that provides meaningful utility.
Yeah, it's all around
Everything
utility.
else is like combat oriented. It's like, why would you ever use any of the other ones when you could just use your flamethrower, which does like something more
The
damage?
back scratcher comes close, but then its utility also comes
It's
down.
not.
No, I mean like with
I was gonna
utility
say,
wise,
it's like-
it's the only other utility based melee, and even then, utility on it is not that good because of some. The
I
utility
think-
on it's
yeah,
not that good because of the cost of being punished by not having medics heal you, right?
Yeah, and it's like everyone says like, oh, just use the crossbow. The medic is not going to be able to manage that in the
Yeah.
middle of combat. Like, yeah, you can crossbow you, and that's like a good way to heal you if you're retreating. But if you're in the middle of a scramble, not having that constant
Yeah.
healing, and especially not being able to build overheal is like a big problem. So. But yeah, no, I think that if you took off the health restore from the Power Jack and gave it to the back scratcher, that would make it a lot more.
And then the it gets extra health too, right? Yeah, that's fine.
Well, it's just from health packs, but it's like, yeah, if you wanted to use the back scratcher as a finisher, because it does more damage anyway, it's like already pretty close to being a good finishing option. If you like go in for that kill and you have like a stat that restores 50 health or whatever, I think that would make it like a pretty solid thing. That would make it a lot more useful for self-sustain. I will say too, I actually really did like your what was it, sharpened volcano fragment change.
I feel like
I
the
think-
numbers need to be tweaked with, but it's kind of like
480 is a ton of afterburn.
like I said,
that is
I'm
like,
just gauging it off of like all the contrast 480, right? So
yeah, well that's damage.
Yeah.
This is afterburn. This is like you have an enemy on fire for a full minute.
I
and
think
you
it, I
get
think it
one
just
crit.
I think I just meant to say fire damage. And I misread that.
Oh yeah. I think if you made it like
Like shotguns don't have it. It's like literally the only exception. I think it's fine.
Yeah, no, that's
That just ties more into the weapon item.
yeah, no, I think if you made the fire damage like I think if you like 200 maybe. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think 200 would be a pretty good number. But you also make the volcano fragment itself contribute to that, and you don't make it so you can store crits, but you make it where it's like a meter, where if the meter's full. I think that would be a really interesting one.
Yeah.
You could potentially chain a bunch of crits together. So it's like basically reverse extinguisher. I am. Yeah, I think that's like honestly one of the better fixes that I've seen. Is just,
Compared to good old when the volcano fragment kills somebody, it spawns an erupting volcano underneath them, which deals damage over time or some shit. I forget what it was.
who implemented that?
That
I
was
remember
Balance
that.
Mod.
Oh my god! Yeah, that was like I remember that was like one of your biggest complaints. Is all of the balance mod weapons feel like these RPG these
They
Yu-Gi-Oh
do.
cards? It's like yeah, on kill a dice falls out of the sky. If the dice lands on 6, your entire team
On
is
a
granted full
volcano.
crits. It's like what is going on? This is not a TF2 weapon. You're just
A
playing
sharpened
like an
volcano fragment that has like Krakatoa's curse attached to it. Like, huh?
RPG. This is an RTD effect
Yeah.
as a weapon. Like.
The other one I love, which is just like the Fana War. The Fana War's like usage is just like, oh yeah, it's not good because it's always better to like shoot somebody than just like apply mini crits, but then just make it faster to apply the mini crits, right? But they're like, nah, it doesn't need just that. When you hit them, they also like get flung up into the air. It needs that too.
Yeah, I don't think Balance Mod really thinks through the purpose of a weapon very much.
Oh.
They just kind of have the mindset of, it would be kind of cool if we did this, and then they do it.
I think
But
that's a
it's
fine
not-
thing for like shitty gimmick weapons, right? Like the
Yeah,
hot hand
no.
had that, I wouldn't complain. But we're talking about weapons that like do have a
I
clear
would still
design.
complain. That's a really annoying thing to fight against.
I think it'd be funny though if it was on the hot hand.
It's funny for 5 seconds, and then you have to fight against people abusing it.
That would be
What was
funny
it?
because
You
the
have
hot
to-
hand hits twice, so like you can't even get the second hit
Yeah.
off ever because it gets flung up into the fucking air.
Yes, but no, flinging people up into the air, especially as Pyro, is so mean because you just like lock them in a corner. You can just like get an instant kill. It'll be an insane combo
I
starter.
already have air blast. Just give him a melee that air blast too.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just like make it so you get a free air blast while you have the hot hand out. But no, it's like there was a TF2 times 10 had the holy mackerel change, where every time you hit an enemy, it rotated them by 40%.
That's terrible.
It was
That's
so
terrible.
Annoying. It was so annoying to
that.
fight against. And it's like it seems like such a funny gimmick weapon, and everyone's like, "Wow, funny fish." And if a scout gets near you, you can't move. You literally can't even get away because your controls are just continuously being flipped.
RTD, drunk vision.
Yeah, it is, and it's like we don't need weapons like that in TF2. I don't care. I don't care how funny it is.
I got this new weapon idea. Okay, it's called Call from Beyond. So every time you hit E, call for a medic, it spawns a vortex of like otherworldly portals.
It's just like the Beggar's Bazooka, but it's like homing rockets.
Woo!
Okay, what was your...
I think it was just extinguish enemies as well, so you can get health back.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's
so
fine.
That one,
I feel like
that
that's
was an interesting change. I don't know.
it does. It's one of those like this does
outside of the fact
nothing,
that
but it's whatever.
Spelled guaranteed.
That was.
The only issue that I have is like it's probably just not gonna be used.
Yeah.
Because the flare gun does the same thing, but from any range
Yeah.
and instantly, and this one has to be. And I guess like twin health is fine, but I've always said that the man melter should just pierce enemies, and that way if you have a crit, you can like fire into a choke point still.
Cool. I like that a lot more. Piercing flare gun sounds a lot cooler than just having the same gun, but now you can get fucking 4 crits now.
Yeah,
That's a
or
lot better.
the other one that I heard that I thought was interesting was if it makes it so you can extinguish any debuff and get a crit, but it's like that's just boring. It's like minor tweaks.
It's also like whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's the boring change. It's the reasonable, rational.
Oh. Reading those taunt kills.
Wouldn't it be cool if the Force of Nature was quad barrel and it just flung you across the map?
That
I
would
think
be
they should make
cool.
the Force of Nature have 7 barrels.
That would be so
and you fire
epic.
all of them at the same time.
It would be so cool if the Force of Nature went ahead and it filled up your entire screen with barrels, and when you shot it, it flung you across the battlefield. It would be such a cool weapon, guys. Cool balance change, I would love to. I don't know what voice I'm doing.
It's like vaguely German. I don't know.
Vaguely German, vaguely. I don't know. It's so cool. Currently hitting the gritty for Ukraine. It'd be so cool. Oh fuck.
I'm currently hitting the gritty for Ukraine.
Anyways, okay. Balance changes that you have that were not in the.
All right. Let me pull up my docket. I've kind
Up
of
a
made
docket.
videos on these. Well, yeah, I actually have a big list. So I'm trying to make videos.
He's got the hate list of weapons that need to be fighted to hell.
Oh, so actually, if we're talking nerfs, there are a few that I think should definitively be nerfed. Just delete the Vaccinator. That's my balance.
I feel like the Vaccinator is okay, concept-wise. There's so many like stupid shit with it though. I agree with that. The fact that you can do 2 at once is stupid. The fact that it builds Uber while like people are being Ubered is stupid, so it increases duration is dumb. Really though, you shouldn't have 2 at once. 2 at once is insane. I feel like it'd also be solved a bit better if more class had more dynamic and diverse weapons with different weapon types.
Alright, Space Guys chat, give me a weapon. So I have ideas for a lot of them, and just asking
People are
me
saying the
what's an idea
Enforcer.
is like overwhelming me by choice. Enforcer?
Talking about the
Okay, the 2 that I had for that one is number 1, change the damage bonus on Disguise to just be a mini crit, so that way it's a lot more effective. Because you're doing minimum 54 damage, so it's like, yeah, if you see an enemy that has like 50 health or less, then you know to pick them off. Otherwise, just don't. I think that's a really fine change to do with it. I would not be opposed to reverting it either. It would just be a damage bonus. It's like, it was fine. It was good for Gunspy. It was like one of the better ones, but it's fine.
keeps his damage piercing then or what?
Mission begins.
Yeah, I think damage pierce. It's a unique stat. I like it.
I feel like it needs to working, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to function. Although no, it does now. I think
It does
I'm pretty sure I
not.
think
There's
so.
still
What is it?
if you get a crit right and you do it on the battalion's backup, it won't pierce that.
Oh, that's right. But that's like.
It also
that's a
doesn't.
crit,
It
that's
also
not-
doesn't. You're still part of the fucking enforcement. It also doesn't pierce sentries. But like the main thing I hear people spy mains always argue with, like, oh yeah, it's very good because when you sap a sentry, it has building armor, right?
Yeah,
So
that
you,
doesn't
it
affect
doesn't,
at all.
it doesn't, it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't affect that at all. I'm not saying.
I think that would be an interesting one. I think it's a bit overkill personally
I think
because
fucking
I think
whatever,
Spy can
right?
already.
'Cause it's-
but
Spy is already gonna like shoot it with his gun, just make it be like 2 seconds faster. No point.
I guess it's like, you know, it's part of the weapon. That's fine. We'll add it. The big earner. I think the big earner would be fine if they just removed the, or I guess lowered the health penalty to like 15, so you don't just die to a pipe instantly. That's
That's
the only complaint that
fine.
I have with it. It's just, I think a health penalty is fine because it's still like less survivability.
It's fine as is in my eyes, but I'm not like in disagreement.
It's slightly worse than I think it should be. I think it's like, it's one of those weapons that's like, not quite a downgrade, but it's still just not preferable to stock, and I think those should be changed. I think those, everything should be on par with each other. Otherwise, yeah, big earners, like, solid, like a speed boost and a cloak regen's like really nice. So I don't know. I think the concept's there. You just need to make it so it's not as punishing to run.
Cloak and dagger fucking sucks.
I don't know. The cloak and dagger, I'm actually not sure.
The cloak can do nothing. Fan favorite.
I guess it functions for what you need it to do. It's like if you need to wait and get a hit, that's fine, but I don't know.
It just feels just very lazy to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just
no, it
it's just like, oh yeah, it's objectively better if you just want to play like terribly. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to play
Yeah,
like
but
as
it's like-
inefficiently as possible, then yeah, it's a technical Betterx upgrade, which it's minor apping to me.
I get that. No, I as a newer spy, or it's like when I was a newer spy, I guess, I really liked it. I thought it was fun to like, you get to learn how the enemy team moves, you get to practice. It's like, I kind of view it as like a rocket jumper of spy watchers. It's like, it's not strictly as good, but it's a really good tool for training because it gives you a lot more control over like, when you're doing things. It's one of those where it's just like the concept isn't exciting, but it works. Maybe I would remove the lower cloak duration.
I think it's a crutch weapon. I think like in
It
the
is,
literal definition, not the cringy thing people think crutch weapons are.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. But again, I think like some crutch weapons are fine as long as they're not annoying to fight. I think the cloak and dagger is about as innocent as it gets. You just let guys have more control.
Russ,
Again,
205 HP. Anyways,
Delaco's bar. Thank you, Gibby, for singing.
the
7 times. Oh my
the
god.
Locust bar. Locust bar.
I think if they change the Delocus bar to have like a built-in health regeneration,
Agreed.
whenever you're under the effect, I think
Yeah.
that would be fine.
Easy enough.
Yeah, it's like it's instead of getting all of the healing up front, because I guess what's the main problem with the Delocus right now? Is that it just doesn't give you that much healing at all?
No, I would say the other issue with it is that when you need to use it, it takes too long to use, right?
Oh yeah.
So
you're
it needs
using
a
eating
faster eating for sure.
Interesting.
I don't
okay.
think it needs too much. I think a health regen over time is fine because it's supposed to be like a frontline weapon, if that makes sense. Frontline.
Yeah, it's like just give it like the same health regeneration as like the cozy camper or something, where it's like up to 4, and you just like if you don't take damage, then it heals you more. I think that's fine. Let's see.
Golden Pan, pay to
Yeah,
lose.
Golden Pan.
How is
Let's
that?
make the
how
Golden
is it?
Pan overpowered.
How is
Let's
it
make
pay to
infinite
lose? I
damage.
don't know how it's pay to lose currently though, 'cause it makes more noise.
Because technically, you know how the Spycicle has the very notable ice statues?
I get.
Well,
Oh,
you're
I
probably
guess.
gonna be the only person on a server with the Golden Pan, so people are gonna know exactly where you are. And also, I read on the TF2 loading screen that the Golden Frying Pan is a direct.
You gotta
downgrade 'cause
use
it makes a lot of
if you
noise.
want to be sneaky. Make sure you don't use the my game.
You
crash.
don't use it because it makes so much noise. They're gonna know. That's my favorite loading screen tip. like when
If you want to
when
be
does that ever
sneaky,
happen?
it's a soldier exclusive tip too, which makes
Yeah,
no
it's
fucking
just
sense.
a soldier. Yeah, if you're playing
If you
pirate
want to
and
be
use it, no one's
sneaky
gonna know
as
that
soldier,
you're
make
stealth.
sure you don't equip the fucking fire frying pan. The soldier is infamous for his quiet weaponry. You know, rocket launchers are very quiet, hilarious.
Yeah, it's like the silent kill rocket launcher, the stealth kill. But you know, if you equip the frying pan, that's all out the window. Everyone's gonna know. Now all of China knows you're here. Let's see. Someone said the Blutsauger. Okay, here's my hot take. The Blutsauger is fine. It's just that syringe guns, like as a category, need a universal buff.
They just need to be more precise. In that sense. Like the projectile needs to be a lot more forgiving and ass.
Increase the speed of all the needles, increase the range by a little bit, and increase the accuracy by a
Velocity.
lot.
Yeah.
And the fire. I wouldn't also be opposed to a firing speed buff. I think if medic needs a self-defense weapon, you should be able to pick something that does that job relatively well, rather than just gimping yourself out of the crossbow.
I said this a lot because obviously Crusader's crossbow fucking busted, right? Like I'm genuinely
Crossbow's
shocked.
insane.
I'm genuinely shocked by the amount of people who thought the Crusader's crossbow was like a perfectly fine weapon in its current stat. I was like actually surprised, and that was a lot. My nerf's bad. Like don't get me wrong, my nerf's like terrible about it. I don't even want to talk about it. Mainly because it doesn't solve anything. It's still like a dominant weapon choice. Right here.
I think they should just increase the reload speed, or I guess make it longer, so it's like you have to be a lot more tactical with when you're shooting.
The issue I have with it though, right, is like, as long as the core concept of like on-demand healing from anywhere is like kept, it's just gonna be the strongest thing in the game. Like it's too strong.
Oh yeah, no, it's insane. I think
Nothing can
I
compare to it.
don't think it should be able to heal as much as it does. I think
Yeah.
it should heal as much damage as it deals. Did you see there was like a Shonik video who did the experiment where anyone can equip any weapon?
Yeah, it was the
And-
strongest loadout.
Yeah, if people needed healing, no one used mediguns. They would just someone would go dedicated Crusader's crossbow, and
Yeah.
that was like more healing than the mediguns were. And it's like this is ridiculous. That this should not be the case. So either that or give medic like reasonable primaries.
It's just, I think the thing that shocked me most was people disagreeing that Crusader's crossbow is a problem, and agreeing that like, oh yeah, just buff all other syringe guns so that they're on the same power level. No, that's not how. What? I don't see it.
I also wouldn't be too opposed to.
I'm not like I'm not against like making the syringe guns more concise, right, and more consistent.
Yeah.
But like in a vacuum, as is, right? The Overdose, the Blutsauger, and the stock syringe gun. When you compare those three together, they're all fine together.
Yeah,
None
they're
of
all
them are
pretty
bad.
reasonable side
Yeah.
grades. It's just when you throw the crossbow into the mix,
Like,
all three
yeah,
of them
they're
are
just
horrible. by
terrible.
comparison.
Yeah, they're just complete dog shit. There's no comparing it. And I'm genuinely like, I don't think you can balance them to be on the same power level as long as Crusader's crossbow has health on healing. I don't think it's like legitimately possible.
Yeah, it's just not very well thought out.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think it's cool. Like in a vacuum, it's like having a burst healing option that theoretically does less damage per second and doesn't give you as much self-defense, but allows you to sustain your team more. Like that's. If you told me that they were adding a weapon like that, I would say, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then you find out that
Current crossbows is not it.
then you find out that the weapon actually deals more damage on average,
Yeah, it actually
right?
does more damage, and you can do it from like much longer ranges, so it's
Yeah.
actually better self-defense.
It's a lot,
There's
it's a
zero
lot
reason-
easier to aim. So just
it's
you
like-
hit your shots more accurately.
The only issue I have with a crossbow is that it can do lots of healing even from point blank. Yeah, I think that's a problem with it too. Is like
Yeah.
you can't even if you wanted to add another primary, I guess, or even another melee that allows you to do burst healing, but like compensates by healing well at ranges that the crossbow can't, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't even do that because like the crossbow already heals like what 75 point blank. Like,
At
that's a ton of healing.
minimum, I think you can heal
Minimum,
like 80.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like up to 225. It's like what is that?
Yeah. Percentage based too.
Thoughts on the equalizer?
I like my change proposed, which is the lower your health, you also gain damage resistance.
I think Pyro's got
I had
this.
thought
I
about
think
that.
he's fine.
But just
That was
extend
one
how
of the-
long you heal.
HP. That's probably nothing.
Okay, so I made a video a long time ago that was like rebalancing soldier weapons, and I got a comment because I had almost that exact change. It's like, yeah, you get a damage resistance instead of a speed boost.
Mhm.
And someone commented like, number one, because there aren't thresholds built into the weapon, it would be a really weird situation where, because you also don't know the soldier's health, where you just don't ever know how much damage you need to kill the soldier. It's just a really annoying thing to deal with.
Okay, but I can
And,
make that same fucking argument with how much damage the Shanashanan does, right? Because I know how much health a sniper has. I can make the
No, I
same
think the,
argument with current equalizer. I don't know how much damage it's gonna do to me, right?
Well, okay, so here's the difference, right? Is receiving damage is different than dealing damage. Like, yeah, I don't know exactly how much damage the enemy is going to deal, even like on normal weapons, just because of like the nature of fall off and stuff. But I should at least know, like, yeah, if I'm running into this to get a kill on this soldier and I've dealt 150 damage, then I only need to deal 50 more. If he breaks out the equalizer, it's so weird because, like, now what exactly do I need to do? It's like, unless I've been very precisely counting damage and I'm really good at mental math, it's like, it's never really going to be clear whether taking the risk and going in for the kill, even again, because I know he's dealing more damage.
Yeah.
But the risk, I can't really calculate in my head, and that's the biggest problem that I think someone
But wouldn't
pointed
this
out, and I
be
agree.
easily solved by having a visual feedback, like the vaccinator or just like a
Kind of, but
little
it's like-
little thing above his head, like when people
But-
have battalions back up?
Is there a damage resistance? Or I guess, is there a flat damage resistance, or does the resistance...
I feel like you
increase
could
with
make it.
lowered
I
health?
said increase, but if you were to make it flat, it would still just be a better weapon overall.
Yes. I mean, well, it's a direct buff, so I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it would be a better weapon, but... I've always said that the equalizer would be good if, number one, they leveled everything off so it's, like, in thresholds and not just linear, because right now it's, like, really, again, it's unclear how much damage you're even doing. Number two, don't make it do, like, 30 damage at full health. Like, that's stupid. If this is supposed to be the damage melee, don't make it worse than stock for 60% of your health.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like... And number three, add some kind of on-kill reward. I think, because like, if
you're
you
getting
have
that
an
close.
incentive to run in, yeah, then it's good. And I think actually I'm putting out a video with this exact change tomorrow, so spoilers. But I had it so if you kill someone with the equalizer, 50% of the health you're missing is refilled. So it's like a reverse. Sword, what the sword is, the half set of Ichi. And also, instantly reloads your rocket launcher. So it's like, if you're at really low health and you go in for a kill, then you can at least be put kind of back in the fight.
I don't like the
And that's
instant
it.
reload, mainly because it kind of infringes on the escape potential of the escape plan. That
Well, it's
makes
not
sense.
supposed to be the escape plan, it's the inverse escape
I know,
plan.
but then like you kill somebody and then you can get out, so you can dive, fully reload, and then jump back out with the health to spare. I think it's fine to have
yeah,
the
but you
health
have to
back.
get the kill versus being at low health and like having a lot more flexibility. It's like you have to take a massive risk and run in for a kill, and then if you manage to land it while you're meleeing someone at low health,
But then
I think yeah.
then
you
I
should
have a
get the reward,
but then I have a
it's fine.
guaranteed out. Is it? I think
Yeah,
that's
but
the problem.
If
It's
you
a,
run
it's
in
a
and get a
guaranteed
kill, like,
out.
that's fine.
Yeah, but it's a guaranteed.
It is a guaranteed out. Well,
That's
number
what I'm
one, it
saying,
only
but-
refills like some health, so it's like
Yeah, I know,
it
I know,
does
but,
give
like-
you kind of a guaranteed out, but it's also like if you manage to get that, it's like I think you should be rewarded by having a guaranteed out.
Yeah, but,
right
like,
now,
the
the
Market
escape plan
Garden
is a
is-
guaranteed out.
The Mark
but
Garner is
it's
kind of
free, you don't
similar
even
in
have to do
concept.
that.
Like you dive in, you get a kill, and then you can quickly get out. It's not a guaranteed out, but you can quickly get out. You know what I'm saying? But then with that, you kind of have a guaranteed out because you have the health to make a jump, and then you can also reload it. Also, you're not held back by anything but switching back to
Is
your
he
map.
gonna kill him?
Yeah, but then how do you justify the escape plan? It's like, well, you have an instant out by pressing 3.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
some,
even have to
but
do
you don't
anything,
have
you
that.
just
You
have
don't
it.
have the health to jump away occasionally, and then you also put yourself at a
No,
risk.
but
I would say it's less of a guaranteed out and more of a
not really. It's like you take mini crits, but you're so fast, like no one's gonna hit you. It's insane.
It's one lucky.
It does. Okay, like if someone does hit you, then yeah, you're dead. But at the same time, it's like you're probably gonna be dead anyway if you're pulling out the escape plan. I think it's fine to have like that powerful of an instant out, if it requires you, while at low health, to run at someone with a melee and get a kill. It's like, that's already a massive risk, and if you manage to do that and win, like, yeah, I think you should get a reward. I think that should be the point of the escape plan, is like, it's a lot higher risk, but it's a lot higher reward. Or I guess the equalizer is the escape plan, sorry. Why not give the equalizer a small speed boost at low health?
Because that's what
is
the escape plan does!
That is
You
Valve brain.
idiot!
Why not give the
What if we
why
can
not give the eviction notice a small speed boost to make it like a poor man's killing gloves?
I got no Blue. I got it. What if because the equalizer sucks, right? So what if we combine the equalizer with the escape plan, so we make them both good?
Yeah. And also, I think the mini crits is like really harsh. I think we should remove those, and also increase the damage thresholds by a lot.
I feel like it also have random crits.
No, not crits, random damage spread. So there's just a 40%.
I feel like it should be the only. I
Yeah.
feel like it should be like the what's the rap assassin bauble, the only weapon in the game that's fucking random spread attached to it for
It's
some
not even the
reason.
bauble, it's the particles. I think they just like spaghetti coated it. I don't think that's intentional. Oh, let's see.
Also the only weapon with guaranteed 100% crits no matter what, like with no backpacking. Like reason I forget how you do it, but you can just guarantee it always.
Wrangler rework? Okay, the best idea that I've ever seen for a Wrangler rework is pulling in equalizer on it and just splitting it into two. So one of them gets the shield but has like really bad combat, and the other one has like the firing speed boost and the like less ammo used, but it doesn't have a shield. So it's like you have an offensive and a defensive option.
Natasha. But Natasha sucks. I hate everything about the Natasha, dude.
Delete the Natasha, dude.
I hate
oh my god.
fucking everything about the
Worst
Natasha.
weapon. It's so awful.
I said in the video, the entire gimmick of the weapon is to slow down the game. Like, what's the fuck?
That's the entire gimmick of Heavy.
On hit, 100%. Okay, so it slows down the people you're shooting at. All right, it slows down how long it takes to kill Heavy. It slows down how long it takes for Heavy to get ready to kill somebody, and it slows down how long it takes for Heavy to kill somebody.
I have a genius idea. Okay, so right now the stats
Terrible.
that on hit you have 100% chance to slow down the enemy. I think we should double the slowdown effect, but only make it a 50% chance to slow down the enemy, so it evens
Terrible.
out.
It's even worse when you realize that the slowdown effect is percentage based, so it only affects Scout, and that's
Yeah,
it.
I don't. It's just the middle finger to Scout. It's like Scout's already hard to play. We don't need a middle finger. Not really. Scout's actually. Sandman, mark for death. Mark for death ball. That's all you need.
I don't like Marked for Death because it encourages on the Fan of War.
Yeah, but you can only do it once every few seconds. And also, ideally, if you're doing that, you also buff the Fan of War. That's
Yeah.
That's the caveat. I think the Fan of War is pretty bad. Or the other one that I saw too that I thought was really funny is just make it like do insane knockback and like 50 damage. So if you hit someone, it just like sends them. Yeah, it'll be funny. Let's see, yeah, remove the Natasha. Yeah, that's a good balance too. Remove Heavy. Actually. I think like a serious fix to the Natasha.
Like
to
my.
make it-
This is a rework. It doesn't matter. Like anybody can just say any idea that's like completely different. It'll be.
Yeah, like honestly though, like I'm half joking about removing the Natasha, but it's like basically removing it, where it's like the current concept no longer exists. That's the best
Yeah.
option. You do not need to slow down minigun. That's garbage.
He's a complete rework. Actually, thing the modern one.
Yeah, buff the Fan of War. I think the best buff for Fan of War is doing like the healing denial thing. Let's see.
This is a good one because nobody talks about this weapon because it's dog shit. It's not even dog shit. No, it's just
Okay.
pointless. The Southern Hospitality.
All right, I got this. Increase the dispenser range, like double it, because it's like hospitality, right? And then you also make the wrench have like, I guess you keep the bleed, but you make the fire damage vulnerability into an everything damage vulnerability.
There you go. Deploy that.
There we go.
An actual weapon with a use.
Yeah, it's like a team support weapon. There you go.
Actually, you know what? I kind of don't like the dispenser range. Like, I don't hate it, but the issue I have is how do you visually show that, if that makes sense?
Different dispensal dispenser model.
There you go. That's the only complaint. Natasha gets fixed equals chaos. World hunger solved when Wrangler gets the shield removed.
Oh.
These guys are spitting facts.
The other change that I had is I don't know if this would be more gimmicky, but you make it have increased melee range. I think that would be very interesting for a wrench.
I don't know how much that would change.
Not much, but it would be
Yeah,
fun.
that's a hidden stat, bro.
Yeah, you make that hidden.
Is the
With a mega
backscatter
dispenser.
is the backscatter redeemable? Very easily. All you do is you get rid of
Yes.
like the spread penalty. That's all you have to do
No,
to make.
don't get rid of it. Invert it so it's an accuracy bonus. That would
That's
make
good.
it
The
so
same
much...
fucking thing. The man.
Kind of, but it makes it so much more of a generalist option rather than just like a weird gimmicky flank play style. It's like I think that's like kind of the golden range of Valve weapons, right? Where it's like or the best designs that they usually come up with, where it's like it has a pretty reasonable downside and a pretty reasonable upside. So on its own, it would be a boring side grade, but you also give it like a separate, unique stat that makes it like good in specific situations. So it's like a lot more interesting. Those are the weapons that are so good.
Yeah. Somebody is saying that your increase melee range for the Sword Hospitality could be completely busted or completely dog shit. Doesn't do anything.
I don't know how it would go. I just want to add it because it's funny.
It doesn't do anything.
I think it would let you upgrade from like cheekier positions.
It would do very, very, very little. It's the equivalent of like saying the Sydney Sleeper like makes Girardi fucking recharge faster on. Like it doesn't do shit. Like 90%
Again,
of the time.
it makes it unique. All right, that's
a funny stat.
Thoughts on the panic attack? Okay, so strictly speaking, the panic attack is fine. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure this was someone in my Discord who said this too. Basically, add a feature where it only has like 4 shots. It doesn't have the. Or no, I think they did keep the accuracy degrading thing, but make it so it has a clip size of 4, but to kind of merge it with the old version, if you right click, it like dumps the clip.
It's like a spat like the Half-Life 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Where like it just fires all the shots really fast. My ears, am I loud or something? Is Space mess up the volume?
No, somebody was mic spamming in the game.
What about the baby phase?
Just,
I think the baby phase is pretty close to being
it
balanced.
just needs a change of the damage ratio. That's all it changes.
just fiddle with the numbers. It's like make it so the instead of like a 1-to-1 damage loss, it's like 2.5 to 1 or something. I don't even think it should be like 4 to 1 like the damage gain is, because it's so easy to gain. Like one knee shot gives you an entire meter, but it's like one pistol shot removes it, and that's dumb. I don't think. That's
I think 17 damage, you can lose everything.
Michael spamming.
Michael.
It's just some guy named Mike like spamming. Like what?
Walter.
That's the right version. Yeah, Walter Mike was the guy. The candy cane is again almost good.
Fine as is, just change damage vulnerability to like something else that's not explosive. Lower it to like 10% to make it everything.
Oh yeah, I think we had the exact same idea. You said like a max health penalty, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. That does the job. It's like,
Just, like if you want to get more health consistently, then just make it so you have less health to begin with. I don't see how that's challenging.
you think the guillotine should have a longer cooldown? I think the guillotine is a really good side grade of the pistol actually.
Guillotine's fine as is. It's not even like that annoying.
It's like it's spammable, but like there's that's the entire point of like demo and soldier, and we're not opting to nerf those. So.
Is there a viable unlock for engineer secondary? It's called the Wrangler.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
all of them. The short circuit's insane too if you know how to use it.
Liberty Launcher just needs like 50% knockback increase, which equates to 25% knockback increase. I want to make it a knockback launcher. I don't care.
I disagree. I think. Oh, okay. Let me pull up. This is another one that I was like working on a lot recently. The Liberty Launcher. The two ideas that I had for it, because it's like you could just do minor stuff and make it fine, but I think it should be good. I think it should be on par with stock. Alright, where's my folder? Please, hold on. There we go. So the first one is that you reduce the damage penalty from 25% to 15%, so that way it's like slightly better. But you also give it the explosive jumping mini crit thing that the direct hit has.
Doesn't it just kind of become like the airstrike though? Like it's better in the air.
No, wait, no, it deals mini crits to other people who are.
Oh, while in the
same
air.
thing
Oh,
Directed
okay,
does.
okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
I thought it was like you gain mini crits
No,
while
no, no,
blast
no.
jumping. Like, bro, what the fuck?
I actually,
That makes
okay,
no
I think the
sense.
Liberty Launcher is pretty close. If you just slightly increase the damage, like, it's really good. Like,
Yeah.
I think that the clip size and the projectile speed and the reduced blast damage is, like, fine. Those
Mhm.
are all good stats to have. It's just not being able to kill anything is a problem.
Any weapons that you think need to be referred to their previous versions, holy shit, they're so fucking...
Yeah, the Ambassador, please.
Ambassador, Righteous Bison, because it's bugged, or not bugged, I guess. That one weapon I was gonna, like, literally checking my inventory and I'm now blanking on. Pretty Boy Pocket Pistol. Fine as is, don't get me wrong, but it was a lot better in the past.
The fall damage immunity was a unique stat. I like that.
Very nice, 'cause the only thing that kind of worked with the baby face, which is needed.
Yeah, actually though, I think if you gave the fall damage immunity to the winger, that's a much.
I like that a lot more, to be honest, because it ties into its
Yeah.
identity.
Yeah, the Beggars does not need change. The Beggars is insane. I've been like practicing with it. It's so good. It's okay. I hated it too, and it's like, all right, I need to get good at this. The amount of times I'm gonna talk about this and need background footage justifies me practicing it. And I've gotten like pretty good with it, and it's insane if you know how to use it. Like,
I'm a
it's
simple
seriously-
man. I like my fucking bullets to go where I'm aiming.
Okay, the accuracy penalty is a problem. The single change that I would make is I would change the accuracy penalty to like the same thing the panic attack has, where it's like the first shot's accurate, but then they start
Yeah.
going away. So then at least if you're firing at someone who's like you're trying to finish off, like yeah, you can get an accurate rocket. You can at least deal with that, and you don't just suffer against scouts. But Thompson, you make the damage.
You nerf it. It's too overpowered. It's too strong.
That's true. Okay,
needs to be
you want to
nerfed.
hear my Thompson horseshoe theory?
Horseshoe.
It's the horseshoe theory with the Thompson is that I think there's a point where you can lower the projectile speed enough that it wraps around to becoming insane because the projectiles just linger in the air, and if someone turns the corner, they just run into like 40 of them and die.
I don't know why. I like the fucking idea of just like shooting stickies now, essentially just in the air. Yeah.
They just like they don't even move. It's like I think we should reduce the projectile speed of the Thompson so much that they don't even go anywhere. They just hover.
Unironically,
You
though,
can like put a bunch.
the same
run into
the
it.
same idea, like for a weapon, like as a secondary though for engineer, doesn't sound that bad. Like a mine kind of thing, like a. Well, I mean that's what stickies are for. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh, you know what they should do to the engineer? Okay, so give him like a primary that's like instead of like a shotgun where it's like consistent at close range, you give him like sort of like explosive projectile type of thing, where that works sort of like the Beggar's Bazooka, where you can load a couple and fire them. And then make his secondary where you can like place mines where if enemies go near them, they explode. And that way you can like have a lot more defensive capability. And also give him an unlockable that makes his sentries able to walk around and shoot beams instead of like just being stationary and shooting bullets.
A lot of things you could do for engineer.
That would be really cool.
Well, what does TF2 Classic have? They have like that charge up pistol. Essentially like it's like a pistol, but it has like one clip, and then you charge it up, and the more it's charged up, the more damage it does, and it can stay off long. Um,
They also give engineer an item that, when you're holding still, heals you and all nearby teammates.
let's bring what's the roadblocks? Typical colors too. Let's bring in that terrible engineer second that they have, which is grease metal.
Yeah, I think you missed the entire joke that I was going for, and now I just look stupid. Damn it. All right. So let's run it back a little bit. So
Engineer from
what-
Cactus. Okay, yeah, I got. I sorry, I was like
What
half
sort of-
listening.
Not from Cactus. What do you mean? No, okay, so we give the engineer a primary that's a grenade launcher where you load up 9 grenades and then fire them when they're full, like the beggars. And then you shoot mines. It's your, what engineer does that? What engineer does that?
That's the engineer from Deep Rock Galactic.
That's right. That's true. All right.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get it because I only play with the nukes. I only play with the nukes. Like that's literally the only time I play engineer.
Yeah, we can give the engineer a bubble shield PDA. It's
For real. I feel like engineer should have like the ability to like when you right click, he comes all over, like lava comes all over, and there's like area denial like that, right? And when he does like enough damage, he gets like an alt, we'll call it, like just like for colloquial terms.
just as a
yeah.
random term. Means
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Actually, that would be really cool if they gave engineer like a primary that makes it so you can shoot like single pellets that headshot, but you can't upgrade your sentry, and you also have like a secondary that it's like on a cooldown, but every time you use it, you move fast and like do more damage.
It would be
That would
so
be
cool if they gave just engineer just like the codes for like the atomic bomb, and like if you use it, the game just ends.
It's just like an instant
Yeah.
loss. It's like what happens on Doomsday.
Yeah.
Like a rocket hits the map.
Like if he gets a 20 kill streak, he gets nuke and everybody just dies.
Oh my god, that's what they should do. That's how they should buff the Frontier Justice. Is if you get 20 crits, you can right click and it just summons a nuke on the map.
Drops a crit nuke.
A crit nuke, yeah, just in case the normal nuke that insta kills everyone doesn't do enough
Oh.
damage. Now it does 3 times. Yeah, engineer needs way more secondaries. I wouldn't be opposed to giving engineer access to both of the scout pistols. I think he could use both of them pretty well.
I think the pretty boys see get more use out of it. I don't see too much out of it.
No. The winger lets you jump on top of your buildings from standing height.
But like I'm more equating that
that's
to.
a good thing,
I
that's
know,
good.
but like the thing is, the main thing I'm imagining the winger to be used for like jump spots, right? But then you would just also just have the same thing but better with the Wrangler.
Yeah, but the winger's free. The Wrangler requires so much setup.
That's I guess.
You have to build a level 3 and then
You
like
don't
wrangle
need
it.
to build a level.
and-
Yeah.
I mean,
You would need to build at most a level 1. Like to access the same level of jumps that you can with the. Just need a level.
the heavy needs a secondary called the Taco Smell, and it's a taco that launches you into the air by farting when you eat it. Wario, what?
Yeah. Scout needs this new weapon called like the Gravity Well that when he left clicks on it, it like causes him to fly across.
I think a scout should be able to summon like a giant black hole, and he just watches enemies get spaghettified and sucked into the void, and it just the entire time it's active, he's just laughing.
New lunchbox item, guys. Bloxy Cola for Scout. Every time he drinks it, it goes nom nom.
No, it goes.
I hope you like your boss.
Here, I have soda. I can probably do it.
Okay, actually, unironically, listen, I'm gonna look at the typical colors 2 wiki. I'm gonna see what weapons they have, and just typical.
There's like 2 good ones that I remember. Don't turn the sharpened volcano fragment into a tabor. Please don't do that.
Terrible, especially on Pyro. It's terrible.
Yeah, like demo kind of needs melee. Pyro doesn't need melee.
Yeah. What do we have?
Actually, unironically, a tool gun would be a really cool secondary for engineers. Like, you could like somehow spawn stuff. Like I don't know what, but you could spawn like breakable props. That would be so gimmicky, but that would be so cool.
No, but like actually seriously, how was he able to
Like yeah, you can spend like 20 metal.
Okay,
on
apparently
a
in
breakable barrel.
typical colors versus Saxon Hail mode, the shortstop is banned. I don't know why. On kill though, I do like this. The shortstop on kill, 50% refill for all meters, so Mad Milk would recharge 50%. Like on kill.
Yeah, no, that's Wait, what primary does that?
The shortstop. That's what the shortstop would do.
Oh, yeah, no, I've suggested like that exact fix is just make it like minus 30% secondary cooldown on kill instead of a shove.
They have
Jump pad PDA. Oh my god. Okay, someone on my Discord server suggested the most gimmicky engineer PDA, and I was laughing at it, and the more I thought about it, I'm like, this would be awesome, actually. It replaces your PDA with blueprints, and it lets you build Fortnite walls and, like, ramps and stuff. That would be so cool, though, because it's like,
put it in the
what
game,
you could do,
Val. Put it
and
in the
it replaces
game.
the teleporter, but it's like, you could just, like, build a wall, like, on last. That would be, it would be so much fun to fight against.
Like,
But you could make, like, a little fort.
Like
That
I'm
would be cool. I would-
broking out, but I've definitely seen like some TF2.
I've seen jump pads before, but not.
Nope. No, I've seen
not
like the
that.
Fortnite building on Engineer. I'm broking out. I'm trying to remember what it was. Doesn't matter. Anyways,
Engineer should get a secondary that automatically bans the enemy team from the game. That's called the Wrangler. But it's not really banning; they just kind of leave.
do you like this? This is a scout secondary, the passive, called the Super Sneakers. Gives you 250 air control on wear and 50 plus greater jump height on wear. Ignore for the second that Scout already has a double jump, so he has technically 100% air control, like already. Ignore that.
Yeah. I don't. Again, typical colors is very much a game where they just throw in weapons where it's like, instead of doing anything specific, this would just be kind of cool, and
Yeah.
that's why we're gonna add it. It's like, well, no, you.
I will say the weapons that are already in base TF2 are kind of buffed so they work a little bit better. I don't want to talk about what they did to Sniper though. I love headshotting somebody for 11 damage. I always love that when I play. That's like I played typical colors once. I headshot somebody like close range. I'm like, dang god, I'm safe. And it was like 11 damage. I'm like, what's the fucking point? Inverse fall off is a. What else?
Okay, I have to go in a couple. Your original reward, remove the cloak penalty, and also... Actually, no, just remove the cloak terrain penalty, and honestly, I think it's fine.
Just be reverted back. Fine and dandy.
I think you should be able to disguise using a full meter. I think that's a necessary thing to have.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just remove the downside. Honestly, it's like already fine. It's like a really good weapon once you learn how to use it, but the penalty, the cloak penalty, just kills it, in my opinion. Alright. Give more weapon fix suggestions. I have to go here in a couple minutes.
Sorry, I'm too busy looking at the typical colors too. Just gave Medic Mercy Wings all of the day. What the fuck is this? Okay, this is called the Pestilence Poker. This weapon always crits. 30% knockback on hit. This weapon deploys 30% faster. This weapon holsters 30% slower. 25% damage penalty. Okay, I kind of like the idea because you hit somebody and then you tell them to fuck off and get away from Medic. Like, why does it need the crit? Why do you have to make it like...
What weapon slot is that?
This is a melee weapon.
Oh, for medic, okay.
Yes. So, conceptually I like the idea, but the fact that it has like a damage penalty, that means nothing because it's going to do more damage with crits. Like,
It's
yeah.
just an instant kill. That's just the Uber song.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. If you give a weapon crits and then say it has a damage penalty, that means jack shit, my guy. It's gonna do more damage than stock regularly. It's gonna do more damage than everything regularly. Horrible. Even if conceptually I like the idea of a get off me weapon.
The Skull Cutter. Okay, so the Skull Cutter's weird. I think if you remove the random crits, because please, dear God, and added some sort of stuff. to it. It's like a minor thing. So without crits, the Stalker is pretty good.
People were saying on the topic of random crits that the Uber Saw would be balanced if it didn't have random crits. That I hard disagree with.
I still disagree, but I think it would be a lot more conventionally fair. It's like, you know,
I genuinely think it would be a worse weapon because then you're guaranteeing like you're trading medic survivability with a random crit for medic to get more Uber like consistently.
No, that's fine, but I think the medic should have to like. He should not be able to one-tap you by a weapon that's already that good. I think removing crits is fine, but
to be honest, though, like anytime talks about like this weapon doesn't need random crits, like the fucking it's random crits, like it's not gonna be balanced,
yeah,
like regardless.
Like,
yeah,
the game doesn't need random crits. It's just how it is. But I also think like if you're balancing with random crits in mind, like the Uber Saw is a pretty good candidate for that to actually matter.
Yeah. Along with the Claymore. Not the Claymore, sorry, the Zatoichi. Remember when the Zatoichi had crits? That was fun.
I
Bring
remember
that
it being
back.
called the Critana back in the day. You just couldn't die ever. You just one-shot everyone and immediately restore health.
Bring that back.
Let's see. All right, one more weapon suggestion. Also, yeah, for the Uber Saw, I think it would be fine if they lowered the Uber to 20% instead of 25, because that's 5 hits to get Uber.
Yeah.
4.
Fortress Obscure is the thank you. That was the mod.
Ooh, the Amputator and the Vita Saw. Yeah, I actually had ideas for this. Okay, so for the Amputator, you make it so every time you hit an enemy, it automatically activates the healing aura.
When you hit an enemy or kill an enemy, sorry.
Just hit an enemy with it, and it's like
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you ever played Overwatch?
Yes, I've played Overwatch.
Yes. Oh, I don't know. I feel like it would just be one of those games you just hate. But no, it's like Bridget. Like every time she has like an ability where
she
hits an
hits
enemy,
and
she like gets
There's a lot of characters that have hit on.
Yeah, so just give that to Medic, where it's like you go in for the saw and then you're automatically healing people around you.
Yeah, but the issue is when Medic Ubers, he just says, "I'm going to kill you." Comparatively though, when Bridget ults, she says, "I love to heal men."
Something like that, yeah.
That's what she said. I'm not joking. That's what she said. Okay, me, you, the white. I don't know who else plays fucking Overwatch, but we're gonna do the Overwatch stream, and I kid you not. When she ults, she says, "I love to heal men." Every fucking time. Fucking.
The Vitasaw. Okay, so the Vitasaw is another one of those weapons that I just think is never going to work with its current design, so it should be completely reworked.
We talked about it earlier in the stream where I said it's such a shit weapon, like from a conceptual standpoint, where the old version, right? The reward for dying was that dying is less impactful, okay? Like, which is whatever, is fine. And then comp players got their grubby, greedy little hands on it. No hate at all. I'll talk about comp and casual another day, or after when you leave. But the current version now is, as a medic, you die easier because you have 10 less HP, but now you have to risk your life to get into melee range of somebody, with the payoff being that when you die, that death less bad. When you could just never have the Vitasaw equipped, never be melee range, and get the same benefit because you'll never be in a risk of dying. It's such a shit. Terrible idea.
The what's the Vitasaw? Yeah, the
on hit gain an organ up to 6
well,
organs.
no. I know. I was trying to
stats.
remember my fixed. Sorry, not the current stats. I was thinking if you did kind of like what the TF Classic syringe does, where it's like you get an organ for hitting an enemy, but when you can like use the organs on teammates and just inject them with a crap ton of health.
Yeah. I had the similar idea for a fix, where it was like hit enemy, kill enemy, heal teammate. Doesn't matter how you get an organ, right? Just general idea. And then you could spend that organ, and it would create essentially a small health pack for you, like a much more active amputator.
Yeah, that would be fine, but that sounds like really annoying to fight against. If you're chasing down a medic and he's just like constantly
it would be a taunt. It would be a taunt. That's why
Oh, a
it would
taunt.
be
Okay,
it would be a
that's-
quick taunt, but it would still be a taunt. That's why I said like a much more active.
Maybe. Maybe. I still think like having it be a like the Team Fortress Classic syringe would be the
Yeah.
best, where it's like you can spend organs on just giving your teammates like 150 health or whatever instantly.
I feel like arguably if you cater that too. I feel like you can
You
make
could.
any fucking of medics weapons better than the Uber Saw.
But
yeah.
I think I like the healing aura on the amputator because I think medic saws requiring you to go for risky hits is a really interesting design. I think medic should be encouraged to like do more active things like that than just sitting back and keeping his teammates on a puppy leash.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, we're joking about the Uber Saw critting, right? So I'm looking back on the Typical Colors 2 wiki. There is another weapon here that is very similar. It's called the Super Saw, not the Uber Saw. Now, on hit, 25% supercharge added, not Uber. Right?
Super?
Yeah,
why,
that's
why
what they
did
call it.
Americanize
But no. But here, okay, here it is, alright? Get ready for the downside. 40% slower firing speed, right?
Okay.
And here's an upside. This weapon always crits. Why?
I guess it's just the same as the normal Uber saw, so not much really changed. But...
Like, fucking why? So it just has a slower firing speed, but now it, like, guarantees kills anybody. So, like, remember we were talking earlier where I said, like, it's one of the one weapons where, like, removing random crits is bad because it does that? They just, like, went full in on that purpose. But now there's no downside at all.
I don't think removing random crits is bad. I think making it consistent is like objectively a better design, but I
Whoa,
think
fucking
it's
100% consistent.
Okay, no.
I know.
About removing crits. Yeah, no, making it always
As consistent.
smoking over there and
As consistent as can possibly be. Every hit. What a fucking...
revert the Vitasol to old stats?
The old stats were
Effects
just...
only apply when it's equipped. That's how it works. That's how weapons work.
Yeah.
Stats only apply when it's equipped.
Are you meaning if you had died while it was active and out? Because even then, that's still not that good.
That's awful. Like, what's the point?
The amount of times, like, a medical, like, your medigun is out, like, 99% of the time.
Yeah,
Like, 1%
it's like, if I
is
know
to
that
shoot
I'm going to
crossbow.
die, then I'm just going to try not to do that.
Yeah. It's still a bad weapon, because you shouldn't be promoting dying. You know, like, a weapon that promotes you for failing is not really that good. I don't want to call it a crutch weapon, but that's certainly what it comes to feel like.
It feels like it a lot.
Yeah, by definition, I would say it's not, but it feels.
I'm not over them Americanizing the medic and calling it supercharge.
Super Saw. What else do we have in here? Hold on. Super Saw. We also have the Dentist's Delight. Always crits yet again. That's the first thing that says on
I
it.
forgot the medic in that game is a dentist. I don't understand what they're doing.
Funny.
It's so stupid. I don't understand what they're doing.
On hit, gain 1, 2, 5 teeth total. For every tooth, you gain 1 more second of supercharge. Charge lasts 1 second longer. Why does it say the same thing twice? For every tooth, you gain 1 more second of Uber. Charge lasts 1 second longer per tooth. These are separate points.
Just, you know, to emphasize, to nail it home.
Always crits, by the way. The downside is holster's 25% slower, 25% damage penalty. Thief gets used when... I don't hate the idea of it, to be honest.
Random... Whoa. Random crits aren't random. You either do crit or you don't. Okay, so then what decides?
That's
what you do or
random!
you don't?
That's a 50-50 chance! That's what random means!
Yeah, coin flips aren't actually random because it's either heads or tails. That does not mean what you think it is.
That's
It's not semantics.
that's
That's
by
just
the-
being wrong.
By the definition of what random means, it's either it happens or doesn't is random, okay? Either I come to your house and I kill you in front of your family or I don't. Like, what's the chance of it happening? It's likely. I might not do it. It's likely, though. I don't know what there's...
No, that's not how it works. That's not how probability works.
Yeah.
The fact that there are preset outcomes and it's not a great.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not random.
All of Medic's melee weapons crit in this game mode. Like even stock always crits for some reason.
What's the point? I guess I can kind of understand their reasoning, but it's horrible reasoning.
It's terrible reason. Okay, because most classes in both this game and that game, close quarters. Medic, not a good class to be in close quarters, right? Ergo, let's make it so if you get close quarters to medics, he essentially can just insta-kill you.
Yeah, I don't. Roblox TF2 is a wild trip. I've played it before, and I still get. Like, it was like 3 years ago, and I still get comments telling me that I was like wrong about random stuff. It's like, dude, I didn't. I'm not going back to play it. You just got to sit there and see. I'm not going to play it again.
Typical Colors 2 streak. I'm gonna do that next week. I'm gonna complain and cry because every time I play Roblox, it's just super laggy for them.
No, Space. You're not going to complain and cry. You're going to wipe the floor. You're going to mop the lobby with the random kids in there.
But you
It's
just heard
so
every
easy to just
time,
destroy
every
everyone's-
time I've played Roblox though, it's like oddly laggy. That's like the main issue I have.
It might just be a first Space guy online PC.
No, because it's only on Roblox. There goes the server. Let's talk about Roblox real quick. Remember when Roblox announced that they were gonna make 17+ dating servers? You remember that? That's new. What the fuck's wrong with them?
Not only are they doing that, but like community members will be able to make their own, means that there will be officially supported Sonic the Hedgehog dating simulators in Roblox.
I love
That's great for that. Yeah, well, you have to submit your ID, like a driver's license.
Oh, who
to join
fucking
those.
cares about that? I'm not gonna
Like-
like for that. I'm gonna be bypassed.
Yeah, my name is like fucking Gertrude McBertha.
Yeah.
I'm definitely 87-year-old.
Here's my
grandma. Okay, can
Argentinian
I
passport.
say-
It's totally real, guys. Like,
Yeah.
let's look at one last shitty medic weapon from. They don't have it anymore. They have the amputator. It's the exact same, except for it always crits. So there's no difference.
Alright, final opinion before I go. What do you think should be done with the sniper backpacks?
Like, okay, Cozy Camper, fine as is. Razorback, fucking, it's a crutch weapon, but I think it's fine, right?
I really like Fish Stick on a Sticks idea, which was kind of the same one that I came up with and he stole from me, but just whatever. If you receive a critical hit while it's active, that's not a headshot, you negate the extra crit damage and receive like 20% less. So what happens is if a spy stabs you, you're like almost dead, but not quite.
This is for what backpack, sorry? Oh, the Razorback?
The Razorback, yeah. So like if you receive a critical hit, it breaks the Razorback, but you negate the excess crit damage.
That's fine.
And
I
also
like-
it doesn't work with headshots for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I'm obviously of the opinion that I feel people overblow the impact a Razorback has on a game. It generally, in my opinion, does not
It's
do
just
that
annoying.
much.
You shouldn't be able to turn off a flash because you're too lazy to look behind.
It's not really
That's horrible
like burning it
gameplay.
off. It's just like slowing down what that class can do in most scenarios. Because the Razorback becomes effective when you're playing with team.
Razor Black.
Yeah, the
Demo Man weapon.
yeah, it becomes most effective when you're playing by your team, right? Because
Yeah,
there's
but you
no
just stand
spy.
there as sentry and this
I
spy
know,
can't do anything.
and then it's pointless to have it out. But then if you have it out alone, right, then it doesn't do anything because it's just gonna gun you down with a revolver, and you can't do anything about it either. You don't have any like Girardi or anything. So it's pointless either way.
It's a very lazy design for a weapon. I think
Yeah.
that it's like, I think negating a crit actually would work because it's like it also turns off freaking Diamondback crits.
Yeah.
But yeah, you make it so you barely survive a backstab. I think is fine. So you have to be at full health to survive it. It's like if a backstab deals 120, then that's more interesting because it still forces the sniper to retreat, but it's like yeah, you at least get the immunity.
And then obviously I think the Darwin's Danger Shield can be perfectly fine if it was just reverted back to what it was before with slight number tweaking.
Oh, please don't let snipers survive headshots.
They can't survive headshots anymore if you just change the damage vulnerability from bullet to literally anything else. Even if you just get rid of it, just 25 extra health is fine. That's all it needs.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I think I don't actually know what to do with the danger shield. I feel like if you just honestly, yeah, plus 25 max health.
I said a very, very, very long time ago, I would be okay and fine if you got rid of like literally how it is currently, and if you just have it equipped, sniper games like 10% extra speed. I think just on the same skill as spy. I was like, that's whatever. It's a fine change, fucking whatever. It's another one of those items that is just no matter what you do with it from a conceptual standpoint, it's fucked. Like the gas passer.
Yeah, I don't think sniper should have passive items. It's just weird to me.
don't think they're bad. Like the cozy camper is a very
Well,
good passive item.
It
Most
just
of them
it
are
just
bad.
encourages him to do nothing. Basically, it's like the cozy camper's all right, but still, flint resistance is stupid if you know how to play.
Holy
It's like I think all of your secondaries should be things that you actually have to use and engage with people with, not just existing and you don't remember.
I'm
those things.
kind of the point was saying that sniper is a very passive class of play, ergo you could have passive. You know what I'm saying? I don't
think
agree that his passives are
encouraging
good.
passive gameplay isn't good. I think that you should. I think that reinforcing the role of a passive class with passive weapons is not a good idea. I think having him at base be a passive class is fine, but if you're gonna do that, you have to at least make him, I don't know, look behind him every once in a while. I think conceptually, the Durati is a little strong as it is, but conceptually it's fine. It's like it's a team support weapon that you can use for a variety of things. It's just again the effect is a little bit too good.
Exactly. Like, I'm fine with passive effects, but I these passive ones that we have.
Okay, I found a Reddit rework of the Danger Shield.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna read it as is. Reduces debut for time by 50%.
The fuck does that even mean?
I don't know. That's what it says.
Debut time?
I'll send it to you. I
I
don't,
don't even know
what
what
it
that
means.
fucking means. This is like that minigun that fires faster.
Yeah, it's a bullet speed. It's a bullet speed.
25% bullet speed.
Damaging debuffs deal 25% less damage.
I think they meant to say reduces debuffs for time by 50%.
probably.
But no,
No,
but damaging
I
debuffs
like
deal yeah, reduces
I like
debut.
reducing your debut time. It makes like Meet the Sniper go 25% faster. His debut is reduced.
Damaging debuffs deal 25%. Okay, so bleed and fire. I don't know why you worded like. I don't think there's any other. 35% damage resistance when being attacked from behind. Headshots bypass. Take crit damage instead of M crit damage. Mini crit damage, obviously.
That's weird.
Negative 15% HP. Negative 10% move. This is all over the fucking place. I don't even want to. This like hurts to look at. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where to like start. I don't know where it ends.
Okay, question. What if they consolidated all of the defensive stats from the Cozy Camper into the Danger Shield, so you get extra max health and flint resistance, and then the backpack allowed you to regenerate health and maybe like ammo or something?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel like Cozy Camper should have flint resistance at all.
I don't think it should. Honestly, it's not.
Like what the one way to like get like how it is a lot better than how it was because it just used to be
Well,
you
yeah.
always have it compared to just now
That
you need
was
to
a little.
fully charged.
But it just encourages hard scoping, which I'm not sure is good.
Kind of the point of the weapon because I'm gonna tell Cozy Camper, and I like the regen because of that because you want to stick to one spot, but that's really all it should be doing. Shouldn't be doing anything else.
Going back to the Dentist weapon, having the Vitasaw extend Uber duration based on how many melee hits you've gotten is cool. That would be broken.
I do like that. I don't think it should always fucking crit, but I do like the idea
Well,
of it.
not always critting, but it's like, think about this though. If you... It's the same deal as like the kunai, right? Where it's like if you farm organs on like Timmy Gonzalez, then now you have like 3 extra seconds of the most powerful mechanic in the entire game that makes you invincible to push with. That people
Capped
just
out
can't do
at
anything
5,
about.
so you have 5 extra seconds.
But
Cool.
that's like 13 seconds of Uber. That's insane.
But
That-
then you
should
would
not
have
be
to
getting
do
that.
you would have to do it again after because they're used on cost, which I think is
Oh, if it's
less,
used.
yeah, they're used up on Uber. It's not like you get permanent, which I think is fine, right?
Okay, I still don't think that. I still think it's like more of a snowballing weapon than I like. I hate the weapons that it punishes you for having bad players on your team because people can farm them for buffs. Like that's just not fun.
I think in the concept of casual TF2, it's fine, right? Because obviously, although it would be easier to get those 5 fucking right, it's a lot easier to equally lose them, right?
Yes.
And you also don't have the ability to gain Uber as quickly, right? So you give up the ability to get Uber consistently and faster, to die easy, right? To do like one super duper mega push, right? In comp though, it would be banned. Like I can
mean,
already
in comp,
see.
most suggestions would be banned.
Yeah,
Comp,
but that essentially
Which-
would be like, oh, so I have to hit you once, and now I have Uber for an extended 9 seconds compared to the. I can do a lot of devastation. in that. Casual, fine, comp would be bad.
I mean, I don't think you should be designing weapons around competitive. I think it's a fool's errand, but
Oh.
yeah, no, okay. You know, I'm on board with that now. I think that's a good argument for it. It's like, yeah, if it expends after like a single Uber, that's
Because like
reasonable.
Uber saw get more consistent Ubers, right? Amputator, you stay alive to keep that Uber, right? And then with that, it was like you don't get consistent Uber and you die easier, but then you get one big Uber. You get 2 penalties for like a big Uber, which I think is fine.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's fine.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts on the one-shot insta-kill knockback weapon?
No, I think it should do more damage. You know, because there are some classes that medic can't instant kill. I think it should actually do infinite knockback. It actually sends you through the walls of the map, like out of bounds. It's like Interloper. A medic kunai? Yeah, no, the Ubersaw does already do that. The Ubersaw is a very interesting weapon. But
Fun.
alright, anyway, I gotta go. That was an interesting discussion.
My jaw hurts.
He's on the tree.
You're talking too much.
Dapping too.
You gotta talk more. If like half an hour of talking makes your jaw hurt,
It's
you gotta
been
do
2
some,
hours almost. Yeah, 2 hours and
Gotta-
15 minutes.
Gotta do enough exercises. You gotta do 2 hours. Wow.
2 hours and 15 minutes. Non-stop
You gotta like do those
yapping.
exercises that let you like suck peanut butter through a straw, where it's like your jaw's so powerful.
Oh, before you go, would you like to know the Versus X and Hail typical colors too?
What does that mean? Would I like to know it?
Oh, typical colors too, right? They got their own Versus boss mode, right? Versus X and Hail. But it's not called Versus X because they have a different name for the guy. Would you want to know his name? Instead of Versus Sax and Hail, they have Joseph Fitton, who is the long-standing CEO of Fitton Co. and brings nothing more than his fist to battle. And by the
This
looks
sounds
of
like-
him, he's quite old.
This sounds like a ligament. You're gonna sound like fit
I'm
me dicks
serious.
In your mouth
I'm
or something.
serious.
Okay.
We also have, instead of Vagineer, we have the Mad Mechanic.
Angry. He's
Instead
not
of,
even like insane. He's just angry.
instead of Bonk Boy, we have Bloxy Boy. Instead of Fortunate Son, we have Unfortunate Son. Real clever on that one.
Okay, that one's actually really fun.
That one, that's instead of a Penis Cupcake. Right?
The Bloxy makes sense because that was like already a thing in Roblox.
Yeah.
Like, cosmetic items. That one's fine. I like that.
Instead of Christian Brutal Sniper, we have Brutal Marksman.
the atheist brutal marksman finally.
Instead of Sigil and Sigil Man or whatever they were, we have Annihilator and Seeper, which are the same fucking gimmick names. So
Yeah, peanut butter through a straw. Yeah, so what the idea is that you do these jaw exercises every day, and you're working up to being able to like suck peanut butter through a straw because your jaw's just so strong. That's the end goal.
somehow. Then we have the Bloxer Noobs, their Roblox staff, Telemon and Shazky. Okay, these are all devs. What about Joke Bosses? Joke Bosses? This is empty. They have no Joke Bosses. There's no Headless Horseman though.
It's very serious business in
Yeah.
the Roblox community.
No HHH boss and no Easter Bunny boss. So clearly this is an original game though.
Say Easter Bunny is whatever, but anyway, I think the moral of the story is that HHH is actually the best Saxton Hail boss.
Oh,
yeah, because he
brother.
has increased melee range, and if you disagree, you're
They
wrong.
they all got increased.
No, they don't.
It's been updated.
No, they don't.
It's been updated.
I guess in that case, without a door.
I don't agree with the update to a certain degree. It's been updated.
Wait, has it actually?
Yeah. Along with Robo Saxon Hail. The character.
Robo Saxton Hail?
Yeah, that was the guy when I was making the original video. Like I knew of his existence, but I didn't know if he was like server based or not.
I don't think he's part of the page for me. I think he's a Freak Fortress. But alright, anyway, I need to go. I need to eat food.
Get this guy out of here!
Alright, thanks for having me on the show. No, wait, don't take me off the stage, no!
I didn't do shit. Needed this. Oh, it's killing me. Boy, oh boy. This jaw strength factor. I'm not gonna continue that sentence. Okay.
Oh, it's Saxton Hale.
Boy, oh boy. 2 hours and 20 minutes.
No!
Ah.
Saxton Hale, no! No!
Oh boy. Okay, any other weapons we want to discuss? I feel like we've gone over a lot. Oh, I feel exhausted talking about it. I feel like I'm gonna get one Saxon round, I'm gonna end stream. We're done talking about weapons. I've already talked about the man melt. I don't want to talk about the man melt. I like Great Blue's idea, where the flare gun just pierce. Also just the critting by extinction. I think that's fine. Oh, exhausted. Base jump? Base jumper's fine. Come back next week when we play Typical Colors 2 and I complain about that game. That will be fun.
Now I'm gonna go play Skirmish for actual Five Nights at Saxton Hale. I just got the... I slightly got mixed.
Painful. Exhausted. Talk about the stock scattergun. What do you want me to talk about with it? The stock scattergun. Like,
See y'all.
damn, that gun certainly it shoots all right. That gun certainly scatters its shots.
Alright, I'm just being cued right now.
Nothing to say about
I'll
that.
be sure to, dude.
It's generic. Let me talk about the stock rocket launcher too. It shoots rockets, and that's good. While we are on the topic, let's see snipers' weapons in Typical Colors too. Curious. Got the classic, the same. The efficient eliminator, which 25% charge speed, no move speed penalty while aiming, new scope on full charge. Okay, that's a unique idea. I'd like it. I probably only equip that because I could just quick scope the hell. We also have the Huntsman. Same thing. Projectile cannot be deflected though. Wow, that's interesting. The Huntsman in Typical Colors 2 cannot be deflected. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's the way Pyro's able to give headshots. That's not funny. What else do we got? Typical Colors 2. Poacher's... Urban Upriser gate. Oh, okay. So Sniper has a deagle, and it's just literally a deagle. That's all it is. It's just a CSGO deagle. Boy, oh boy.
That's actually neat. Pyro vision doesn't work here.
You know what? I'll talk more about Typical Colors 2 next week. Probably. I got too much to say about it now. Gotta save it. Well, I'll try to save him. That's all anybody can ask, really. I mean, while we're in the topic of playing Versus Saxton Hale, I may as well talk about the progress of the Versus Saxton Hale tier list. I said at the start, say it again because we're coming to the end. I just want to play Saxon once and then I'll probably get off. I have all the clips recorded. I got all the audio recorded. I have barely begun fucking SFM work though. Because we all know how much of a training detriment that is. It'd probably be done just in time mid-October. I'll probably like grind on it, get it done relatively quick. We'll see. Truthfully though, I wouldn't mind hiring an SFM artist to help me out, especially the animations, because those always take the longest no matter what I do, along with editing. So that's the state of that. Not even begun editing. Just in the process of starting to SFMs. But we'll see how it goes. Like I said, mid-October I'm aiming for that to be out. I think it's gonna be an hour and 15 minutes long, if I recall how fucking long the audio recorded was. Tremendous. Always fun. I don't think I'm gonna get... I'll quit. Tired. I wanna go eat dinner. I wanna go lie down. But that's where that's all at. Thank you for coming out. What a wonderful time. Tune in next Friday where I try to kill myself.